Cheers to episode 211.
211, 211. Stand up.
I forgot we used to clap.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that for a long.
Ready.
Hey, boys. May the 4th be with you. Let me be the first to tell you that.
May the 4th be with you.
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I was just going to say Revenge of the Sith is probably my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Best action. Most quotable
That's probably
lines.
my favorite too.
Dark turn. And
You've never even seen a single Star Wars movie.
I saw one in theaters. I think with you,
The Force
Alex.
Awakens.
Well,
Was
you
it
could
the-
watch Revenge of the Sith in theaters. They re-released it.
No, we saw The Force Awakens.
It's the one where the girl was introduced and it was like
Rey.
Kylo Ren, I think is the guy's name.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's the first one I saw. Then I went back and watched the first ever one. And it was the worst movie I've ever seen, quality wise, and I gave up on the whole scene.
So you liked the first one you saw?
Yeah, it was like kind of modern. I was like, okay, this is intriguing. You guys were hyping up like, oh, the storyline, Grant. Get this. They made 4, 5, and 6 first, and then it goes 1, 2, 3. It's crazy. I was like, all right, let me try it. I watched the first scene. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. They're like in the desert and like nothing happens for like 20 minutes. And I was like, I have to watch 3 of these before it like really gets going.
You're one of the only people that thinks that.
I'm sure at the time it was revolutionary, but to watch it in modern society, it's horrendous.
Horrendous? You're saying the first Star Wars movie is horrendous?
Horrendous. Like instant, like turn off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But love the video game.
It's a hot take.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 can get behind that. What was the map? There was a wooded map with a big like wall made out of trees. That map was sick. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The Wookiees, is that their name? The Wookiee soldiers? Evan's nodding, thank you. That was a good map for them. Stand by. I'm looking at this image of all the maps. Kashyyyk Beachhead. Ring any bells?
Can you show us?
It's a very small graphic.
Didn't play it, so no comment.
I didn't play it either. I just wanted to make you show me.
Oh, can't go. It's this one. Really hard to see.
Jabba's Palace.
Oh, that one was creepy. There was like it was kind of like a strip club.
No, we're familiar. It's in the movie.
Yeah, this, whatever this was peak gaming.
2005.
Did they remastered this? Made a new one, right?
I believe so.
I think so, too.
Yeah, it's Star Wars Day, I guess, which people care about. On this show, we have Pistons, Knicks, recap of 5 and 6. Also talking about their overall season, looking ahead to next year. And then really just a couple quick news topics. It's kind of a choose your own adventure. If you guys have anything that's on your mind that you want to talk about in the sports world too, we can. If we want to talk about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, that could be slipped into this kind of show as well. I don't know. So before we get into all that though, Alex, weekly check-in. Go as long as you want. Take your time.
Yesterday I played in a golf tournament.
You took what Evan said to heart.
Well, I told you guys last week I was playing. Tips, ball and hole. As in, you have to putt everything, no gimmies.
Ball
What
down.
Are you saying? Are you just saying for the audience? You looked
Ball
at me.
down.
You looked at me when you said that. No,
I didn't
ball
look
hole
at you.
is.
You don't know what side of the screen you're on.
What course?
Brenham Country Club.
Never heard of her.
And I never slice. Okay.
Basically, just a course between, because it's Austin and Houston people, so just a course in between Austin.
Is this a similar group to the Ryder Cup thing?
It's the same, like, yes.
You partnered up?
Stros is what it's called. You just play in foursomes.
Mm.
It's a singles. Just playing by yourself. Just
Okay.
a tournament.
Nice.
How'd you join this tournament thing?
So one of my friends here was in it and said, "Do you want to join?" And I said, "Is it free?" He said, "Sure." To have access to all the events, yes. So I was like, "Sure, I'll be in it." Basically, it's like this giant Discord. I don't know if you guys ever use Discord.
We talked about
But
that with
it's-
Trilly.
Oh, yeah. it's that, and then they have all these like events and stuff in there, and like conversations and basically like message boards for golfers.
But it's free. The tournament is.
No, you had to pay to play in the tournament, but like free to use and be in the like group or whatever.
Oh.
And then you can donate to the thing if you want to. I don't do that. So yeah, I played a night yesterday.
And yeah, come on.
I finished fifth. The scoring system 31 or something.
Nice.
Scoring system is quota, which I never played before.
You haven't? So I play that all the time.
Basically, your handicap. Based on your handicap, you get a quota, like a point total. So my quota was 27 points.
Your handicap that you entered with was
9.
Whoa. Whoa. I
Well, my index,
Sandbagger.
my index is a 7 from the tips. The course like slope puts me at a 9 for 18.
Okay. So 9 by 3 is what they did to get 27 or no?
I don't know how they got to that, but my quota was 27 points. You get 1 point for every bogey, 2 points for every par, 4 points for a birdie, 6 points for an eagle, 0 for doubles or worse.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're at 27. You get okay. Now what?
So you start with 27 points, or the max you can get?
You start with 0. No. You start with 0, and whoever outscores their quota by the most wins.
Oh, okay.
So
just 18 holes?
18 holes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do people come up with that?
I don't know.
So what'd you
it
end
makes
up
the
with?
handicap system interesting because like some guys' quotas was like 18, so they just had to make like a few pars. I finished with 28 points.
Plus 1. Wah, wah.
Wait, no, that's better.
Yeah.
I thought you said the person with the most points.
Yeah, I mean the person that won was plus 4.
Yeah.
Like realistically, with your handicap, you're gonna shoot your quota. That's how it works. Like you're supposed to be around your quota.
So womp-womping you.
Okay.
Do you still with your
I had
handicap?
no double bogeys, no triples, so I got a point on at least every hole.
Is it all gross then? Do you not factor in your handicap on your strokes?
Correct.
When you play, you just play normal.
Because
the handicap's in the quota.
Correct. So you're just playing legit.
So the worst player would have a lower quota.
Correct.
Like
so
my
worst player would be like 12.
Transfers would be 5. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
No, it would be like 15 probably.
How many pars am I making? One.
Okay, that's 2 points. Can you make 13 bogeys?
No shot.
Or yours might be like 10.
Yeah, I would not even come close to winning that.
Probably the best I've ever struck the ball consistently, start to finish.
Smash factor.
You were stroking it out there.
Yeah, I'd say so. But just did not make.
Best club in your bag.
Make.
Good question.
I'm guessing it wasn't the putter.
Probably driver.
T to green, you probably led the field in strokes gained.
I mean, he is the longest drive champion. 92.
I did win the longest drive on 18.
Oh,
hell yeah!
There's a scratch golfer. I beat him by 2 yards, and he looked at me. He's like, "That was everything I had." So I was like, "All right."
Did you call him a small boy?
I like that guy. Like he wasn't afraid to admit it. Like, hey, that's my best. How far was it?
Take that.
Fairway only.
I don't know.
Or did
you have to be in the fairway.
Okay.
You don't know how far your longest drive was?
No, all I know is a par 5. It was 18. You can look it up, and I had 130 in. It was downwind
from the tips.
Yep, from the back.
130 in on a par 5.
From the back. Oh, behave.
Heavy downwind, though, because then I hit a gap wedge from 130, 20 yards over the green, and I thought I hit it perfect.
Alex, I still need my 8-iron. My golf game is not the same without that club.
My parents do not live that far from you, Evan.
The green tee said that it's a 460-yard par 5.
So, yeah, short par 5.
So
short par 5.
300, 320.
320, the wind.
Nice. Real nice.
But yeah, so like on hole
I start-
6,
Yeah.
I had 4 feet, 4-foot downhill slider for birdie, lipped out.
Wait, shut up. On 6 is a 400-yard par 3. What'd you hit?
What the are you talking about?
Oh, I was
It's
in
a
the
par
handicap,
four.
not
Green
par.
handicap. Come
Sorry,
on,
I saw the
G-string.
handicap twice.
par
I saw
four.
the blue-white
I hit
handicap too.
driver, 56 degree, 4 feet, missed the putt. That was
Damn.
just kind of how the day went. Like I'd hit the ball great, and
That's
then
Rory
I just-
McIlroy.
Oh, so you
First
played
time.
you played from gold? No, like gold's old. Oh, JK. Oh well.
Green.
It's not that long. So
I don't like how
tips,
green's
not
the-
that long.
Tips. I wish they were black.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
They all look the same,
But-
Alex.
I had right. Oh, besides the white.
Yeah, 6,500. I feel like it's not that far for a tipped
It's-
out, which
it's
is
not.
fine. I'm not a hardo. I don't need you at 7,000.
No, it's not. So, yeah, 10 pars, 8 bogeys. Never was in trouble. I had 2 3-putt bogeys, so that'll hurt you.
Wide open course,
And I'm-
tight course.
Pretty tight,
Oh.
surprisingly.
Yeah,
I think my best and worst moment, number 9, par 5, again, downwind, smoked a drive, 160 in, hitting 2. Hit what I thought was a beautiful 8-iron. Wind carried it, hit the cart path behind the hole, out of bounds.
Oh,
So this is real rules. So then I had to re-hit from 160, hitting 4.
you drop somewhere and hit, or no?
Same.
Re-hit?
It's just a reload.
So do you drive up, see it's gone, and come back then?
No, it hit the cart path. I saw it, and everyone's the guy next to me who I was playing with looks at me, and goes, "OB." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Did you hit him in
dude."
the face instantly?
Yeah, God.
No,
Bad
then I
vibes.
reloaded, put it to 5 feet, and made par. So it was quite a moment. The dude I played with, he was also like the guy who like ran the tournament. He's one of the guys I play with. He threw a club at least 7 to 10 times.
Rule
Oh.
club.
Wow,
Like chucking clubs, screaming.
like
It's
a one-hand flip throw, or like a two-hand. Just
No, like a meltdown. So this playing this par 3. There's water on the right. He hits it. He chunked it like one arm finish on the par 3. He two-hand tomahawk threw his club down like towards the green from the tee box. That was club throw
Crazy.
1. Then he goes up. He hits his chip, chunks it. So now he's on the fringe. Takes that club, torpedoes it like 40 yards to the left. I'm like, all right, dude, just chill out. Then he putts it to like 4 feet. Remember, if you get a bogey, you still get a point. So like he's not even dead yet. He's yells. The cart girl is watching this whole thing too. She's like waiting for us. This is the worst part.
Mhm.
She's just like some young girl, like probably in high school. And she's just watching this tantrum. Then he goes up, doesn't take his time on his putt for bogey at all, misses it, takes his putter and just throws it towards the water. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. And then the guy in our group, when we got to the next tee box, he's like, hey, man, you should really calm down. And the dude's like, yeah, I know. Next hole just spikes his club again. I'm like, this guy's a psycho.
he didn't want to be embarrassed in his own tournament.
Well, he won the year before, apparently. He probably finished at like bottom 5. It was terrible. He did have this sick, push cart, but he had a
First time I've ever heard that sentence said. Sick push cart.
Well, because he had a remote control push cart.
To follow him around.
Yes.
I don't
It
think
was
I would
like-
be friends with this
Air
guy.
tag in the bag.
It was basically like having your own caddy without a person. It just like I'm like on the first tee, his bag was like rolling away. I'm like, what the is happening, dude? Your bag's going away. He's like, oh no, I'm dry. It like drives itself. I'm like, oh. It's like, how much did you pay for it? He's like, oh, $600. So I got home yesterday. I looked it up. I was like, that seems like a cool thing to have. It's like $3,000. So
He shortchanged you.
yeah, he lied. But yeah, good time. One longest drive in 18.
Hell yeah.
And that was my week for the most part.
Evan, news and notes for you.
A lot of baseball. Not too bad, though. Tuesday, won a doubleheader. Friday, won a doubleheader.
Swept, you're saying?
Yeah.
Or just, yeah. Stupid.
Tuesday?
Yeah, it'd either be split or won. God, that was dumb. Sorry.
Stupid.
What schools? Let's
Tuesday
call them out.
at Saline.
Oh,
Yeah, Grant.
I'll drink to that.
Friday was home against Okemos. Nothing to brag about
Whoa,
there.
Interesting.
that's a crazy long drive.
But Tuesday's wins against Saline was very rewarding based off of some of the characters that Saline had on their team.
They're still doing that stuff.
Yep. It would have
It's a
hurt you,
culture.
Grant. It is a culture. It's a very bad culture, and the coaches didn't do anything about it. So that was nice. Monday was probably the worst round of golf I have ever played on Golf
Right,
League.
these texts.
Not
Take a deep
personally.
breath,
I
Evan.
didn't play too bad. I played bogey golf, which is typical. It's my third time golfing.
Nice.
You gotta be better at it.
I'm well
Get that
aware.
8-iron.
But just the duo that we had to play against was just annoying, and I instantly wanted to go into the clubhouse and be Shooter McGavin and tell just kick him off the tour.
That'd be so good.
I didn't. I held
This
my
guy
breath. I held my
stinks.
tongue. Didn't really say much.
Is Dave still the leader?
Oh yeah, he is. Like, if you're bad, what's the point of cheating? You know?
Amen. Well, I mean, I get from their perspective, they're embarrassed by how bad they are, so they think they have to cheat to somehow.
You don't. So that just kind of irked me. But other than that, it was nice weather out, I guess. No complaints there. But we were last off because of me due to baseball. So it kind of just added it all up.
The humor part was funny because I was like, is Evan just being hard on this guy because he already didn't like him? Or like, were his jokes actually bad? And the ones you
his
said
jokes were bad.
so bad. Show you how
And
the
we
pros
got
do it is
warned.
like not funny at all.
We got warned beforehand.
Oh, people are spreading, the word is spreading on this guy.
Yes, we got warned beforehand because he played the week before. Max warned us beforehand. He was like, these are some jokes he's going to tell. And sure shit, third hole.
What is happening to this league?
Got to find spots. Other than that, that's about it. That was about the week.
All right. Me, I did some golfing this weekend too, so triple threat here. I did not
Shitty
go to-
golfing.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty bad.
So I
went
did
to,
good. Evan did average. Granted bad. There we go.
Bad.
Covered all our bases.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Grant, before you get started. I went to the movies
Thunderbolts
Friday night. Thunderbolts.
Good viewing
with an
experience.
asterisk.
Yes, with an asterisk.
Chicken
Because
Jackie.
movie theater was actually pretty busy, like kind of full. I did something
MJR?
the first
We're
time
back.
I've ever done in the movies. No. Well, to start the movie, some people were walking in there, got there late, and were like standing up because he
You
didn't.
yelled at someone.
No, I didn't yell at somebody. It was just a funny moment. They were like standing up and like communicating with the people behind them, like across the main aisle, and like trying to like, oh, do you want to sit here? Blah blah blah. And some dude just finally had enough and was like, sit down. It was awesome. I just caught
What does
myself.
that have to do with anything?
I just caught that. It
That's
was
just
a
good
funny
comedy.
Start
Shut up,
movie
Alex.
theater. I was nodding off on and off during the movie. Yeah,
Knocking off.
Nodding off.
nodding off, like sleeping, like fall asleep, catch myself, wake up, fall
Yeah,
asleep,
I've
catch
had
myself.
that happen many times.
Wake
Not
up.
a good review for Thunderbolts.
No. Wilkins caught me sleeping and so just laughed at me. Yeah. Wasn't good. It's like a big like aha moment or like oh shit moment during the movie happened, and he like Wilkins sitting next to me wanted to like share it with me, but my eyes are shut. So got caught red-handed there.
Wow. I've fallen asleep in the movies many times.
I have not. That was the first time.
Dude, I don't think I could fall
Yeah, but
asleep
it's
in
just like deer camp. You know? You get the stand out.
Boom.
Wake up when the plot starts to thicken, you know?
There's a deer underneath me. I don't think I could sleep in a public place like that.
Oh, once you start, it gets comfy
I
I'd be
quick.
real comfortable in that chair.
KFM, Black Panther. Got super high before the movie. And then drinking IPA, because there's a Imagine, I think. or maybe this was Spider-Man. All right, I think KFM on multiple instances has done this. Black Panther, I think he got high, slept most of the movie. End of the movie, he stands up. Everyone is in awe of how good it was. He goes, "That sucked." And he saw like none of the movie. And then I saw Spider-Man, the first Tom Holland movie with Wyatt and KFM. And KFM had 2 IPAs and was snoring in the middle of the movie. I was like, dude.
IPAs are a heavy choice for a film.
He had 2 of them, too. And he's just out cold snoring next to me. I'm like, dude, come on. So.
Too hard.
People do it.
I'll see you guys later.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, just to get in that good recliner.
Wilkins said the movie was good. I mean.
It was. I didn't have anything wrong with it. I thought it was a very good movie.
You didn't watch it.
Your eyelids.
I saw 97% of that movie.
But you missed the aha moment.
I missed the oh shit
That would be
moment.
devastating to look over to talk with your friend about it, and he's just cashed out. You'd be like,
he said best Marvel movie since Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's really good.
That was my thought too.
You guys see the new Lilo and Stitch bucket?
No. Is it good?
I
didn't know there was a movie for Lilo and Stitch.
No, it's a popcorn bucket.
I know, but
it.
doesn't that mean a movie's coming out? Better not be
there's
perverted
the live
ass.
action Lilo and Stitch.
This is a kid's movie. Wait, it's actually
Stitch just like pops out of the bucket. I didn't actually. I feel like I watched Lilo and Stitch as a kid, but I don't remember it at all or like have any recollection.
Ohana means family, isn't that what that movie's
That's
from? Or
it.
no?
Like, I don't think I actually watched that movie.
I think Stitch scared me as a child, like as a little child, because
Came out when
in
we
the
were, like,
beginning of the
7.
movie isn't Stitch kind of like aggressive, and then he has to be
Yeah,
tamed.
he's like an alien.
He's trying to hide himself as a pet so he doesn't get taken.
Oh, it came out in 2002. We were 5.
I'm saying I think Stitch was a little much for 4-year-old me. I was like, what is this thing?
Not at all.
Yeah, I think I probably got scared too because I don't really remember.
I was a Goofy movie guy. I didn't really.
The Goofy movie scared me as a kid.
What the You're
How?
soft.
The scene where he like transforms into his dad would give me like nightmares.
I feel like you told me this before.
Yeah, it would like scarred me for life. Like I had to like not watch that scene every time I watched.
This isn't
that
going to
movie.
shock you guys at all, knowing me, especially Alex's theme of me. But I thought the beret girl was pretty attractive as a child.
Not surprising.
Roxanne, not so much, but beret girl, I remember that movie was like, oh, this lady too, Sylvia Marpole.
Yeah, that scene right there with the flower.
What do you mean?
That one.
This?
That's the scary scene. Where he's having like this vision thing, and then he fucking turns into his dad. They freaked me out so bad as a kid.
That's
my dad.
That's a deep cut Halloween costume. I don't think if anyone pulled that in public was like, oh, you're the beret girl from Goofy movie.
Well, we know what Grant would do.
That's a good movie, quality movie.
I'm gonna watch that again.
So I golfed. I got classic.
How shitty was it?
Swung too much. I have 5 blisters. Look at those 3. 1,
Wait,
2,
you
3.
played golf or you went to the range?
Went to the range.
That's not playing golf.
Well, my first swings of the year. My first swings of the year.
I think
went
your
to the
first
range.
swings
Do
of the
you
year should
remember
be
what I
playing.
told you last year?
Play more.
Practice less.
It was awful weather though. It was raining
didn't
cold.
Today?
Saturday. No, I went Saturday.
Saturday did not rain here.
I guess it didn't rain, but it was cold.
I golfed.
It was like
yesterday.
50.
Casual.
Nice.
Not a big
It
deal.
was nice during when I was putting. It was nice out. There was stretches of it being nice. But I went to the
Play
range
more.
and I was
Practice
just
less.
hitting snap hooks.
You're gonna play like shit when you're here, aren't you?
I started to feel better towards the end.
I'm
And
worried about what course I pick because the one I want to play is hard, and it's
That's
gonna
fine.
be a problem.
That's fine. I'll be
Or-
fine. I'm vibes.
Between you and Wilkins, could be bad.
I'll be fine.
I think this is the summer of just saying, who gives a shit what tees you play, Grant?
You could
Well, I've
just
always
play
thought
up.
that. I've always thought that.
Just
I
say,
don't
fuck it.
care.
I don't give a shit. Like, if you guys want to play, go back there and try to big dick one each other. Like, I'll play up here. I don't give a shit.
That's
I'm
what
not
what's
I'm
her
not here to
face
win
said
money.
that. but sometimes Paige Spranik has good golf advice. She said that there's like you should learn if you play a course a lot, you should play from the closest tees until you can actually shoot par from there, and then you move back. But
which means you'll play there for your whole life. So.
Aw.
I'll never experience the back tees. Yeah, I could do that. I'll just pick the yardage I felt comfortable with.
Grant would dominate Raisin Valley from the front tees.
No.
Yes.
I mean, we could make this happen. I only live like an hour and a half from there.
He'd probably shoot like low 80s.
Yeah, what is dominate?
No, he
Put a
would
number on
dominate.
dominate?
He would shoot in the 70s.
No, he wouldn't.
No shot.
Yes.
What do you think I would shoot from the Reds at Raisin Valley?
He would shoot 5 under.
Wouldn't it almost backfire though, Alex? Because like there'd be some
66.
holes where you wouldn't want to hit driver because you'd be too long. So I feel
would
like it
never
eliminates
hit driver from the Reds at Raisin. The
iron
lower
men.
the lower the club, the easier it is to hit. It's just typically how it works.
So you'd rather hit your 2-iron off the tee
I
box
don't
than
even
driver,
have a 2-iron in my bag, so
whatever your long iron is.
the longest iron I have in my bag is a 5-iron.
So you'd rather hit that, like you're more comfortable hitting that than your driver.
What's like? Let me look at a scorecard.
I'm just
You guys
saying,
can
I feel like your
continue.
strength a lot is driving. So if you eliminate your ability to drive on a golf course, I think it becomes
I think that
it'd be a
helps
whole
me-
different round of golf for you.
Yeah, it would just be like playing a par 3 course.
I don't
I
know
mean-
necessarily if it would be a bigger advantage.
I would shoot pretty low from the Reds at Raisin Valley.
I would be interested to see. I'm not saying in
Significantly
a
lower
bad
than
way.
from
I'm
the
saying more
Blues.
just because it changes the whole dynamic of the course. Like you don't get to use your driver.
I barely use my driver at Raisin to begin with.
Do not hurt me. To your point,
said
Evan, I do
4
not think I
times.
would shoot in the 70s from the Reds. I do not think I would get that low.
2, 6, 17.
Maybe 85.
Yeah, I would shoot lower.
So I was at Carl's. A lot of balls. A lot of
How
bets.
many?
I bought a bucket of 100.
And then you bump more.
The whole
No,
round.
and I don't know if it's a dirty move there, but like no one was really hitting on the
So then you took someone else's balls.
no, the chipping surface. You know how they all just pile up there.
Oh,
I,
yeah, you
I
don't-
took a
you
bucket
can-
and I took like 15, 20 more and went back to a stall.
Oh, that's. They're out there so you can chip.
Yeah, but well, no, they don't leave those out there. People buy them and end up hitting balls out there, then
No,
leave them.
no. They put a bunch of range balls on the chipping area so that you can go get a bucket, grab a bunch, and chip them back onto the green. That's not for you to take and go hit range balls.
No, they do that, but then I've watched people bring buckets of balls
Yes,
out
you
there.
can also go take your own if you want to.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, but you don't take those to the range.
I did twice.
It's a scum move.
I already
Scumbag
paid.
move.
I already paid them money. I don't care. I paid money to do it. I bought my 100.
Also, you don't need to hit that many balls. You're just getting worse. All you're
Well-
doing is compounding your problems.
There's definitely is a point where you start to get worse, but I have this competitive thing in my brain where I don't want to end without having some sort of good feeling at the end, and I was in a bad spot. Just snap hooks left. And shout out to this one guy. Don't know his name. You don't have a lot of driving range interactions. I think are good.
Greg Kessler?
No,
Isn't
besides
that who-
that, I guess
Is that
yeah.
who Alex met?
Greg
Yeah.
Kelser. Yeah.
Greg Kelser.
Putting green.
It was busy there, so a guy came up and he was like, "Hey, are you gonna get any more?" Because I had like 10 balls left during my first bucket, and I was like, "No, I'm done after this." And so my last one I hit was pretty bad. It was to the left. He threw me a ball. He's like, "You can't end on a bad one." And I was like, "I like that." Like you saw that, and then I hit a good one on my last one. I was like, "Thank you." And he was like, "Hey, I'm not like trying to give you unsolicited advice." He goes, "But I'm a scratch golfer and have been for like 20 years." And he goes, "Your club face is just like pointing to the sky when you're at the top of your swing. So that's why you're hitting all those left." And I was like, "Okay." And I could tell something was off of my swing, obviously, because I was like snapping them left. And I was like, I was trying to rotate. I was trying to swing more of a cut, like out to in to like correct it. And it was working a little bit. It was like fixing it. So it wasn't going as left. He goes, "Yeah, that's like the right mindset."
Wait. What does he mean?
Like it was, well, what would your club face be if you were snap hooking? It would be closed.
It would be closed.
It was, yeah. He was basically saying it's closed when you're up
So
there.
the back of your club was facing up.
Probably.
Oh, he could see your club face when you.
Because
took
he was
it back.
standing down the line.
That
He was
makes
standing
sense.
behind me.
It was just facing like this.
Yeah.
towards
He
him.
said super closed. And he's like, it should be more in line with your left arm. And I was like, okay. Like I didn't know I was doing that because I didn't have video, but I know that that's a thing. So I was like, thank you. And I was like, I told him, I was trying to swing more like a cut to like counteract it. He's like, yeah, that's the right idea. If you're playing around, like try to correct it that way. He's like, and then obviously if you're practicing, like try to just feel that it's not open or closed like that, which one it was. So it was a nice interaction I had with the guy. And then I watched this swing like a little bit after. It was butter smooth. It was so good. I didn't want to like ruin his day or like you never know, but I wanted to be like, will you just give me a lesson right now? Like he's the type of guy that would just spend a half hour and coach me. But then,
so what was wrong? You just suck.
No,
feel.
I was just feeling things out. I'm trying this year to not have any swing thoughts. Like just get over the ball and just be like, all right, swing.
Probably need one.
So I was feeling things out. Then I went and putted, and putting felt really good towards the end. So that was good. Good putting. Short game for a little bit. Good. Fine. Short game, fine. And then I went and grabbed some more balls to hit again. And I went back to the tried and true Cameron Young. I'm a better golfer when I pause, which is, I know it looks weird. It looks funky, but like the pause drill, like if that's just my swing, I hit it better. So I think that's just going to ride with that and play by feel and not think about anything other than like pausing at the top of my swing. Because it makes sense because that was how...
It's only just funny because I know you're going to change like 10,000 more things. Like 2 months from now when we have this conversation about your recent range session, you'll be like, yeah, I changed this and now I'm only going to do this. Just like your coffee habit. Oh, I'm quitting coffee. You're not a stick to the plan guy. That's just not how it's going to work. No sweet thoughts also is psychotic. You have to focus a little bit on something.
Well, I mean, okay, I guess
you have to have something.
I'm trying to think way less, but in the case, I thought this was a step in the right direction for me where I know more about the golf swing. So if I do step out on the course and I hit like a bad hook a few times, I actually know now to try to swing out to in, and that works for me. Like it did start to correct my problem. Like, yeah, my swing technique is still bad, but I have like a fix or something to think about that can try to help me. So that was good because younger Grant would have no idea. I would just keep hitting hooks forever and be like, I don't know how to fix this. So yeah.
Excited to see your game.
It'll be interesting. The main goal is to try to hit the driver better, which was better towards the end.
Was that snap hooking?
Yeah. Every shot I had in except for my utility wedge, my 50, which is a 50 degree in ping. That club I just love. That's like my new 7-iron. My 7-iron snap hooks now too. It was funny.
You're snap hooking irons?
They're not like a line drive. They're like fine ball flight. It's just it's 20 yards left of what I'm aiming at. It's just instead of a cut.
A pole, or is it like curving?
Curving.
Does it start left too?
No.
Starts left, then curves 20 yards?
It starts kind of on where I'm aiming and it just, boom, it goes left. Like maybe a pole. Like I don't know. Yeah, like 20, 25 yards off the line I think I'm aiming at. But like striking the ball is fine. Like not as many duffs and stuff. Like not flubbing it. Like good contact. Just club face was in a bad spot. That's all. I'm pretty sure that's all it was the club face.
Well, they say club face control is the most important.
I'm getting better at it. I
probably your shitty grip.
To your point, I did go away from my grip from last year because I think because
this is it. That's what it is. Your grip is probably closing it down.
I'm changing my swing a little bit. I have a stronger grip now because I think that makes me feel more comfortable with the club, more like how I held a baseball bat. It's not the same.
Right. That's why you're hooking every shot.
Correct. And I'm working through that because that I think long term is how I need to swing.
You know who has a good grip? Evan. Nice soft grip.
No blisters on those hands.
No, not really. I don't know.
Evan does not grip the club hard. It almost looks like the club's coming out of Evan's hands.
That scares me.
I just swing.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I always wondered what Evan thought about in his swing because I feel like he's just been consistent forever.
The most I think about is my drivers, and then when I'm hitting a good iron shot, I literally tell myself, all right, hit a good iron shot. That's like what I say to myself right before I swing.
So wait, can we see this grip?
Like right now?
This new grip? Yeah, I want to see it. It's probably terrible.
Yeah, just show us your gripper.
I'll cut
show us your grip.
Show so people don't have to watch it. 1 sec.
You need a grip trainer. You're supposed to hold it in the fingertips, not the palms.
Like this?
Yes.
Grant's frozen on my screen, so I can't even see this. Oh, there we go.
What? That's your grip?
Yeah. Could do that, but I don't love that as much.
Then give me this way again.
It's just stronger
Just
on my left
show
hand.
it. Just show it.
It's hard.
I can tell. I know what it is. Just show it. Now put it down. Put it down. Okay.
Alex loves it, Grant.
As bad as you thought?
Yeah. You're automatically setting up to close the face because you're already closed,
Yeah.
and your hands are like this far apart.
I have smaller. You make the jokes. I have smaller hands, so I need more control of the club. That's why I don't like to interlock because I feel like I lose. I feel like if I interlock my
You
fingers,
don't want to be gripping the club like death. You don't need to do that.
my grip pressure is not that. I'm not death gripping it. I'm not I don't feel like I look like Bryson when I'm like doing it. That's also not how I'm over the ball. It's kind of hard to show on this.
Yeah, grip's important. And I feel like you made strides to have a better grip last year, and then you've already abandoned it in the first range session, and now you hook everything. So
It's the same principle of the grip I had last year. It's just a little bit stronger of a grip.
stronger grip means more hooks.
Yeah, but the hooks really went away at the end when I started pausing more.
Everybody can get something. Everybody can get something to work for 10 shots.
Fair. Yeah, so we'll
Talking
see.
about consistency.
When I
crap.
swing, we'll see when I swing again. I've never been a consistent golfer. So,
Because you don't practice right. Now, next.
other thing not good. We lost every race bet this weekend. I don't understand how people win when they bet horses. And I don't know if they do. I think it all could be a sham. Have you guys ever had any luck?
No.
Never been on horse racing.
On the FanDuel app for the 2 times a year I do it really is around this stretch. I was looking there. They have all these stats of how fast they ran, how good the jockey is, how good the trainer is. So I did that theory of okay, let's go by the numbers. Let's go by the favorites. Some will do long shots, losing all of them. And then I was like, all right, I'll actually turn on the Derby during the day when I'm around the house, because they're running races all day. And then Matt Bernier, Eddie Olczyk come on and they tell you right before the race who their picks are. They lost all theirs. And I was like, okay, so the Spurs I'm watching are getting everything wrong too. It just seems like a total crapshoot. I don't understand how it works. But it's huge.
It's just luck.
It is a very big deal, and it looks fun when you win. I'm jealous of the people that pick them right. I don't know how you do it. And it's do you have to be there to watch the horse? Do you scout the horse with your eyes? And you're like, ooh, that looks like a good horse. I don't know how it works. Turns out the one that took a Duke walking to the track was the right one. I saw it as they're parading it to the gates. Just took four massive,
it's a normal thing.
groups.
Horses kind of just dump when they please. Yeah.
It was incredible. But yeah, it looked miserable in Kentucky for that race. It was soaking wet. Mike Tirico actually, they said, got sick. He couldn't do the call.
Oh, that's a bummer for him.
He got sick. All right, let's do Pistons Knicks actual sports talk. I know Game 6 is on the mind. Let's start with Game 5 first. The nice win.
I want to talk about the win.
You don't have to. Then I have a couple thoughts on the win because we came on here. Evan was we're dead. We're a dead team. We're a dead team walking after Game 4.
Correct. You did lose.
Yeah, but I would say Game 5 actually gave me the most hope for the future of this team in terms of just stones and being gritty and what you want in a Detroit team of not just folding. So that was awesome to see. There was one stat I just wanted to get out now before we talk about him later, of him being clutch, whatnot. There was 5 minutes, 42 seconds left in Game 5. The game was tied. From that point, Cade had 11 points and 2 assists. So he was responsible for 15 points. So I would just like to point out those things too on the road in MSG when we then talk about Game 6, because I think that gets lost in the shuffle that everyone just hunkers on the end of Game 4 and the end of Game 6 as not being his best performances in clutch, which is fine. But he did put the team on his back in Game 5. It was also just an impressive win because we shot 27% from deep and we won the game still, which is very rare in the NBA. Asar Thompson played lights out. I think he had there was a stat he had 7 dunks or something in that game, just running the same play Where
It's like 8 for 10 from the field.
Duran would catch it in the around the elbow, around the nail, and turn around, and he'd come in from the dunker spot. So that was a sweet win. And like I said, long term, that showed me a lot. I feel like this is a good group. We can go to Game 6 if no one has any other thoughts on Game 5's win.
Colby was here for Game 5. Shout out Colby. Yeah,
that's right. Shout out Colby. Good vibes watching that.
Yeah. We weren't that locked into it, to be honest.
Fair. I guess. You'd given up.
No.
Too many girls at their table.
Yes. Too many women.
Wow. All right, Game 6. Who wants to talk about it first? Their thoughts on Game 6. What stood out to them a couple days later? We have had some time to cool down.
Just the same story of the series, really. I mean, it's you get to the fourth quarter, you take a decent lead, and then you don't close. And be like, oh, well, we closed in Game 2 and Game 5. Well, okay, sure. But this team struggled to close in the playoffs. There were some coaching decisions I thought were questionable. I'm sure Grant's going to hammer on. You go 0-3 at home. It's terrible, tough, brutal, sucks. Got to protect home court in any sport. So that sucked. You also have to give credit to the Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. They make every big shot, and we did not do that. We missed every big shot.
Team. Our role players did not play well in Game 6. Down the stretch, I should say.
Well, I was going to say, Malik Beasley had a great, 3 quarters.
40 points for Brunson. Right? Beasley had a lot of points. Like 6 threes or something like that. Evan, to tee you up, you can take it any direction you want, but this was a question I thought. What's more impressive, or what sticks out more? Losing all 3 home games, or that we stole 2 road wins in a pretty rowdy NBA environment? Because I was looking back at the series, and I was like, if you had told me we win 2 games in MSG, I'm like, damn, that's awesome. We might win this thing, but then we lost all 3 at LCA.
I would say that we
win the series.
Book 2 from MSG. Just from, well, we did have some playoff experience on the bench.
Yeah.
But overall, throughout the entire season, we don't have playoff experience. I would say probably the 2 road wins probably stood out. Especially if you said we were coming back to LCA 1-1 after the first 2 games. I would not believe that.
I think that's what's frustrating.
Or if you told me we have a chance to win at home to force a Game 7, that would have been hard for me to believe before the series started as well.
Knicks have a better first 5 or whatever, as they played all the minutes. We probably had a better youth and overall roster, but our overall roster did not step up to the plate in times of need.
I think
in stretches here and there they did, like, oh, we got back in the game, took a 7-point lead, but then when your butthole's pucker in the fourth quarter, nobody really
basically goes Brunson, 1, best player in the series. I think it's hard to argue that. People can argue that Cade is better. Cade will probably be better, but I don't think it's fair to say Brunson wasn't the best player in the series, because he probably was.
Yeah, I have to give him the crown because they won.
And then Cade 2, and then the 4 other Knicks starters are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Duran
Josh
maybe
Hart start?
Yeah.
I might put Asar above Josh Hart.
Josh Hart made timely defensive plays and offensive plays. Asar did offense in 1 game. As much as you love him, and I do think he'll be a great player, and he's great on defense, Grant, but he has to do a little more on offense other than Game 5 throughout a whole series to be deserving of that.
Mm.
And we're also talking about a guy with 0 jump shot at this point.
He had 17 points in Game 6. Josh Hart had 13.
Josh Hart was scoring more points in the series, I would bet.
Let's see.
Josh Hart bitched at the refs more to get more calls. So
Josh Hart runs his mouth a lot. That he does.
Either way, Grant, you have to admit he has to be better on offense going forward for this team to be like actually good. He can't just be a dunk at the ball 6 times in the playoffs guy. He has to learn how to shoot and dribble and like make plays.
To be able to win an NBA championship, yes. But to beat the Knicks, no. I mean, we should have.
No, not to beat the Knicks. I'm talking
to beat the Celtics or Cavs, yeah.
To be something actually.
Did they end up losing?
Yeah, pretty sure the Pacers won.
Wow.
Josh Hart averaged 11.8 in the playoffs. Asar averaged 11.5. There you go.
I do think Asar's a better player than him right now.
Josh Hart averaged 8.7 rebounds. Asar averaged 5.
Josh Hart
played
Josh Hart averaged 6 assists
for the final shot.
No, Josh Hart doesn't have to guard Cade Cunningham.
Josh Hart was better in all 3 major stats: points, rebounds, assists.
My thing that I'm realizing with the playoffs and flip me is I think
plus
defense.
Minus, Alex.
I think we have no good way to like value how good a defender is.
Fake. No. A good defender is very important.
I think our society doesn't value defenders. I think we just look at counting stats. And that's a take I had from this playoffs.
I don't think that's true. I think
everyone's just like, how many points did you score? And you're like, good game or not?
I don't think that's not how I view it.
I think people are a little bit smarter as a whole about efficiency too, because then people are like, oh, he had 20 points on 20 shots. I think people realize that now. But I think we're still inching our way to, I realized it most notably in this series with Asar Thompson, because I, to be fair, in the beginning felt the same way I think you did, Alex, and most fans felt were like, ooh, this kid's not ready. He's turning the ball over on offense. But as the series went on,
in game 1,
even if he scored 5 points in games 5 and 6, like he just had to be out there for what Brunson was. Like,
who's disagreeing?
JB Bickerstaff sat him.
That's why he got fired. So
just sat him on the bench when everything was going our way. And Asar Thompson did not ask to leave, and Asar Thompson was not tired. So there's no excuses for that because he was
we needed scoring, I guess.
It's just, I don't know. I think this was good for me because we haven't had playoff basketball in a long time, but I think you have to have a guy. You have to have like a top 10 to 15 guy, which ours is Cade, and we're going to go as he goes, as he gets better, as he get older. But 2, you need a stopper. Like, just every team has a Brunson or a guy that can probably go for that they could go to over and over again. And you have to have someone that can frazzle them. Or like we've talked about, the NBA players are insane with their shot making. They will just score buckets every time down the stretch if you don't have a freak to rattle them.
Did we really stop him? He averaged 32 in the series on 44%.
Slow down, I guess.
Efficiency not great, but like he still hit every timely basket. In the fourth quarter, especially in game 6, he had a stretch where he scored every point for them. Still did it.
It got going when they set Asar, and then Asar comes in. We have a shot clock violation because he rattled him the whole possession.
Yeah, that was great play, and then he shook him on the next one and had a game-winning 3.
Yeah, he did make that. But like, that's happening to any defender in the world at that point, except for the
not denying it.
Maybe whoever the top.
You gotta get the ball out of his hands, Brunson's hands. You gotta stunt at him.
Also,
you gotta double team him.
We got to score in the last 5 possessions. We got to make a shot.
100%. We had 2 turnovers, and Cade missed a layup.
And I felt like Cade forced that layup too early. I don't know why.
My only gripe with Cade really is he doesn't land on 2 feet, and I'm waiting for that evolution of his game. Like he just goes, which works out a lot. Like when he did the saucy thing in like game 2, and Eagle loved it. Like that's cool, but like he also doesn't land on 2 feet, I think, ever, and he would be better at drawing fouls and probably converting and ones if he just would land on 2 feet and pump fake on a guy.
He's very good, but I don't think he's there yet to take over the way Jalen Brunson did. Like, that's what we need him to get to, probably, to be something serious. He's not there yet.
For context,
his jump shot also was broken the last 2 games, which sucks.
Yeah, 0 of 8 in game 6. If Cade in 5 years from now, when he actually is 28, like Jalen Brunson, if he hasn't figured it out, then we can tell him that he needs to be better. But like, I think that context is very important as well. Well, I know. I just feel like people were comparing them as like they're the same player, and I'm not saying us because we haven't even talked about it yet. But like,
figure it out in 2 years.
What I'm seeing online is people being like,
2 years.
He's 23.
It was more TJ Lang just trying to get into basketball, and he's like, "Oh, Cade needs a Batman." It's like, dude, he's 23 years old.
No, like, Cade needs a Robin.
If you're listening to TJ Lang's advice on basketball, Grant, you're going somewhere wrong.
I just saw it. It came across. It was getting a lot of traction on Twitter. And there was a good chunk of fans being like, yeah, Cade's not the guy. It's like, dude, he's 23 years old. Jalen Brunson is 28. All these players you love, like Jason Tatum, is not 23 years old. He's older than that. He's
Cade
gone through the
Cunningham
wars.
would also be a lot better if he had 3 All-Stars on his team.
100%. Like, his Robin Ivy broke his leg this year. Like, Cade had to do a ton. I don't see how you come away from this playoff series other than stock way up on him as a future.
The only gripe is that he shot 18% from 3 the whole series. That hurts.
He did shoot
He's gotta
poor.
shoot better than that.
He shot below his season average, 100%. So I was looking at that the other day.
17.9% in the series.
He shot 35.6 on the year, and he shot 17.9%. So you'd think water will find its level. He's not a 17% 3-point shooter.
No, he's not Frankie Fiddler.
And it really does change the offense if he's able to hit those, because then they have to stop going underneath. They can't go underneath screens anymore.
People who think he isn't the guy. I mean, he averaged nearly a triple-double in the series against a team that was far more talented than we were.
And OG Anunoby is, like, talk about Asar Thompson. OG Anunoby is a specimen of a defender.
Yeah, he's very good.
I came away with this. Him and Brunson are the 2 Knicks that I do respect. I had to end up respecting Brunson because he's so good at basketball.
It turned on me in Game 6. It was like, this dude's unstoppable.
He is a flopper, and I hate it, but, like, he is so good. And then OG Anunoby, but anyone else on that team, I hate for the rest of my life. Hate Cat. Hate Mikal Bridges' stupid 3-point celebrations. Josh Hart is
every time.
I think Miles McBride's fine. I never really saw much from him.
He didn't do anything.
Everyone else on that team is the worst. Tom Thibodeau, sick of him. Don't want to look at his face anymore.
I hate how the Knicks wore black as coaching staff, like polos, when their colors aren't black.
And slimming for Tom. Maybe he's worried about his
wears
figure.
Black all the time, Evan.
Yeah. What do you say to that?
It's college basketball. It's not run by the NBA.
You know what I did hate, speaking of jerseys?
He also wears lime green on the sideline, Alex.
Those Knicks ones that were like faded Knicks under the Knicks are the stupidest jersey I've ever seen.
They wore like 3 alternates. Like, what is that candy ass stuff?
The NBA was making everybody wear alternates. Besides the Pistons, we don't have really any alternates. But
we have our bad boys ones. I like that we just wore our cut
NBA
and dry.
probably told us that we couldn't wear those.
Maybe.
Bad boys.
The Nuggets wore like their 5-1-2
Terrible.
whatever jerseys one game.
Oh, those are disgusting.
Try explaining that when Marissa on the couch. She goes, "What team is that? Denver. What does that number mean? It's the elevation of their city. Why do they do that? I don't know, because they're above sea level." Like, it's like, yeah, this is stupid. They just wear Denver on your jersey.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I'm glad we stuck to it. My other thoughts on Game 6. I have one more rant in me too, but that's later for overall season thoughts and what's next.
I got some overall thoughts.
But in this game, Jalen Duren, is it Duren or Duren, Alex? Duren, perfect. Jalen Duren bought into his future way more. I think he was the guy I was still trying to figure out. Like, at the start of this year, if you told me,
I love that guy.
I do too now. If you told me before this year that we would put him in a trade package for something better, that was a name I'd be like, yeah, I think we could figure out how to replace him, which centers you normally still can. He was electric in Game 6. 21 points, 6 boards, 3 assists.
He's so big, dude.
Stood out to me.
So big.
He went 9 of 10 on his free throws.
Yeah, he's good on free throws.
In the game, I was like, he hasn't missed. He did miss one in the fourth quarter. But to have a big man, reliable, like you saw Mitchell Robinson, liability, just hack him if you need to. Jalen Duren was nails from free throws. He did shoot not that as good as that. Obviously, 90% is crazy, but he didn't shoot. He shot better in the playoffs than the regular season from the free throw line, so we'll see how that continues.
83% in the playoffs.
Phenomenal from a big guy.
Cade shot 83% as well.
His passing got better. Everything got better about Jalen Duren, I think, as the series went on. So I'm fully bought into him being a core piece of this in the future. Obviously,
but you said you would do the Giannis trade.
That's part of my rant. I thought about that more. Can't do that trade.
I don't think I can do it either.
No, we'll get to that.
I saw that. That was a real fake proposal.
I have a couple pulled up. They're just like blog sites saying there are people on trade meetings that are bored. We shot 26% from 3 again in Game 6. Cade, Tobias, Schroeder, and Haraway combined 3 of 21 from deep.
Got to add a shooter in the offseason.
32% from 3 in the series.
As a team?
Yeah, Knicks were 37.
Yeah.
Not great shooting from either team. But
Mikal Bridges is, as weird as his shot looks, it was pretty damn consistent when they needed it. Malik Beasley stretch was awesome. I think the way
Shimmy pissed me off.
Yeah, the way we lost that game, I think I'm going to forget in 10 years that we were down by like 14 or 15 points, and we were down 11 points to start the fourth. So I think it's almost like testament to like the fact
We're
we
down
came
11
back.
to start the fourth.
We were down like 11 with like we were down 10 with 10 to go. I remember saying that out loud, and I was looking at the box score today. But then we got
I got a text from a friend here with 8 minutes left saying game's over.
Oh yeah, that thing was dead.
Yeah. So and then like 40 seconds later we tied it.
Because our third quarter was terrible. And normally the Knicks have a terrible third quarter because we came back with Beasley. Beasley had like 15 points in the second quarter. That's when he just went nuclear. And we were doing great there. And then, so start of the fourth, I wrote this because this is the Asar point. Start of the fourth, we were down 11 points without Asar Thompson starting the quarter, which was weird to me. He's a starter in the game, and normally you kind of throw your starters out depending on subs in the fourth. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. We're still down 11. He comes into the game. He leaves the game with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left. We're up by 5 now. We got up to 7 points with 2.5 minutes left. 7 points, 2.5 minutes up in game 6 to force game 7. Then he comes back in.
Yeah, I chalked it up.
At a minute and 23 left. He comes back in. We're up 2 because Brunson just abused. He didn't abuse Schroeder, but you can tell the difference in who's guarding him, where like that bucket where Jalen dribbled around for like a half hour and then just threw it up under the basket. Yeah. Like he doesn't
just make
score
crazy
over
plays though. He just makes crazy plays.
He does. He makes less of them when number 9 was guarding him.
Still
Asar comes back in and then we lose. And it's just like, I don't understand why he had to be subbed out there. It never made sense. It happened earlier in the series too. He didn't play in a lot of fourth quarters. I think if he plays in 80% of the fourth quarters, we win, because I love the guy. Legend in college basketball for me as well. But like, and Beasley too. If Tim Hardaway Jr. or Beasley are not hitting threes at like a pretty prominent clip, they're negatives on defense. They just you see it. They get blown by instantly.
Sar was 7th on the team in minutes in the series.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought
he had a lot of foul trouble though the first 2 games.
True. In game 5 and 6, he was the second best player on our team consistently. Game 5, he was a star. And game 6, he was giving it his all. Not as good offensively, but was like doing very well against Brunson on defense, as you can do. Right? Brunson's still going to score his points.
No Stewart hurt a lot. Although I thought Paul Reed had some solid minutes in the last. After his abysmal start when we first saw him play in this series, he was okay.
Yeah, he can't catch the ball.
If there's a guy that we can punt on and get something for, I don't like Ron Holland. I'm just going to say it again. I still don't like the kid.
He's like, isn't he 19?
Yeah. No, I'm sure he'll be fine. I don't like him. Just don't like him.
I'm intrigued by him.
He's Asar Thompson light.
If one of them learns how to shoot and the other just stays the way they are, I think that's a nasty wing combination.
They shot a combined 0% from 3 in the series. Those 2.
Wait, they don't even take them. Do they even shoot one?
Holland took 3. Asar took 2.
The confidence on Ron Holland. He didn't even play that many minutes, but he hucked up 3 threes.
6 minutes a game. He shot 3 threes.
The thing about it, though, Alex, hypothetically, I don't know what the Celtics are going to do with their payroll situation, but if we want to get to the point where we can contend with them, having those 2 to be able to guard Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, you're going to need.
Yes. Also, Asar shot 58% from the free throw line in this series, and that is not good enough.
No. Young kid, though.
21 of 36, Grant.
He had that many free throws?
Yeah, second most on our team.
Yeah,
behind
he'll get better.
Who shot 42. And he shot 58%. There's still glaring issues.
Yeah, it's his first ever playoff series, and he's 22.
Yes, but if you want to shit on JB Bickerstaff, you have to realize, like, offensively, he is challenged. Besides a game and a half.
I was going to make a mean joke there about JB, but I'm not going to. That was a bad coaching decision. Flat out. I will die on that hill. That was a bad coaching decision.
I agree with you. But
him making one free throw
and Jalen Brunson shook him anyways, so I'm not sure it mattered.
I think that's so unfair. I think that's a lazy take that, like, yes, he did shake him on
I'm
that
not saying
play.
Just that play. I'm saying there's a chance Brunson still goes nuclear with him in because that's just what he does in the end of games. He's the most clutch player of the year.
And if he does, though, I just think the logic the logic decision of like having a guy come in, play great defense, he scored 7 points in that stretch, had a steal with that and one.
You're not convincing anyone on here. I thought he should have been in the game.
But like I can't even. I don't think there's any excuses you can come up with of like why he may have gone through his head to take him out. I don't think I think it was just a brain fart.
A Malik Beasley kill shot to hit a 3 and win the game that we had 20 looks at and we missed every single one.
The entire series. Whenever we needed a big 3 from those guys in the lead,
every kill shot opportunity missed every time.
Now, come from behind, sure they'll start making them. Yeah,
Tobias Harris shot 44% from 3.
Dennis
Schroeder shot 48% from 3.
He shot well above his season average from 3. Big time player.
10 of 21.
Least invested of the Pistons of us. Now we go to overall season thoughts. How would you assess this season, especially compared to last year? You're muted, I think.
A+, overachieved.
Okay.
I mean, it's a glaring thing. Obviously, we overachieved. We were dead last year. And I think, Grant, you're one of the only 10 fans that believe that we would make the play-in tournament.
No, not this year. He didn't say it this year.
This year I slacked on it. We didn't even preview their season. They were that bad last
probably
year.
Why
really
they
didn't.
made
I gave up.
Because Grant's like winter jinx didn't happen for the Pistons. So don't ever predict the Pistons to make the playoffs.
Yeah, because that's how sports work.
The season didn't start so well, but then we went on that big winning streak. And the East isn't very good anyway, so. But a lot to look forward to.
Okay. I like that positivity because the last couple minutes were negative, so we needed that. Alex, what are your sentiments on the season?
Similar to the Tigers, except they didn't get the win in the series. Surprised, pleasantly surprised. But now I expect things, so this is when it actually starts again, the fandom. So if they suck next year, I'm going to be pissed.
Their
expectations now. The core is there, though.
Or is it? We'll see. Based on our next topic.
I'm very curious to see what they do this summer.
My overall season thoughts before that, I think this was a weirder mix of sports fan brain emotions I've had. Because going in, like we just said, we joked about, I didn't do a play-in prediction. I didn't even really watch any of their games to start the year because normally I watch like 3 Pistons games and then I realize they're terrible and I stop watching. We did that in Birmingham a few times.
Yeah.
I had no expectations. I think I started to catch on to them a little bit where like they were hovering around 500 and I was like, okay. I think, really it was Ivy was having like a career year too before he got hurt. So it was all kind of coming together. I'm like, all right. And then they had that winning streak. Evan, I'm glad you pointed that out. That was electric when we won like, I don't know if it was 10 games. We beat the Celtics in one of those. And I was like, wow, like we actually seem like we're pretty damn good. Well, good enough to lock in like not to play in. Going into the next series, still, I was like, we're probably going to get swept, a gentleman's sweep. It'll probably be a 5-game series. And then we win game 2. Like, okay. And then, I don't know. I'm basically just going through the whole thing. But my point being that I had no expectations. And then I'm still overall happy. But then I was like so devastated and like disappointed and angry that they didn't capitalize on this opportunity because you never know how often they'll come around. But it was like a weird fan thing where like deep down you should be playing we had 14 wins last year. Like good for us. But I was like, I don't feel that at all until maybe like next week I'll start feeling that. Like, okay, yeah, like this is fun. It was weird.
Game 4, game 6, debilitating feeling. Just felt miserable. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I was very mad about game 6. And I think I texted the next day and said I was still pissed. I was pissed for like a good 2 days about it. And then I haven't watched a single NBA playoff game in classic fashion because I'm still mad about it. But I think I'll watch Rockets Warriors after this and get over
I've never understood that theory. I think both of you guys do that, don't you? Or I know Wyatt does that. Wyatt won't watch anything after
I don't want to.
loses.
Yeah, I just don't want to watch. Like, it's only postseason play, really. Like, Tigers lost last year. I didn't watch a second of the rest of it because I was so pissed off they lost.
Dude, you missed it. Remember
March Madness when Michigan State loses? I'm out. I don't want to see it. And I will watch it eventually. I'll come back once I calm down. But like, I'm too upset to watch it.
That's crazy to me. There's this fascination I have seeing
NFL
the team that knocked my team
didn't
out.
watch the NFC Championship game because I couldn't. I was too upset.
That was Niners. Oh yeah, that was Super Bowl. Wait, Oh, you're saying this
Commanders Eagles. I didn't watch it because I was still pissed
Commanders
about our
Eagles.
loss.
Yeah, Eagles smacked them around. I would call that
Hardly
from a
even
mile
watched
away.
the Super Bowl. I don't even know what really happened in the Super Bowl because I still haven't rewatched or like gone back to see what happened.
Well, we were on
a
the
ski
we
trip
were in
and I
ski
wasn't
trip
paying
that
attention.
that was a blowout. Jalen Carter happened. That's all Evan will tell you. If you can just give him, Evan can spin that however he wants.
So yes, when my team loses in the postseason, it takes me a minute to want to get back into it, especially depending on how they lose. If they would have got swept because they clearly were the worst team, I probably wouldn't have cared. I would have went back in to the rest of it.
I need to see what the Celtics do in the Knicks for my own personal
My eyes will be
hate
all
watch.
over that. My eyes
That's gonna
will
be a
all
juicy,
over that
a
series.
juicy hate watch.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
they're good though? What if the Knicks like look way better?
Oh, I know what's going to happen. Jalen Brunson's just going to take over fourth quarters again. Kel Bridges will hit his timely threes, and they'll probably win some games.
No, they're gonna smother. Dude, Cat was also horrendous in
Cat.
Game 6. He scored.
That guy.
He was so bad in Game 6. He got lucky. He scored 10 points and had like 5 turnovers, like disgusting turnovers.
He fouled out too.
He did foul out too.
He.
He's the worst.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to go in on him, but I do not like that guy.
We may have.
He's not likable.
We may have like peed down our leg in Game 7, but nothing in the series made me think it would not have been another close game because they all were. And the longer the series went on, our young legs, I thought were becoming an advantage. Where like the only having one day off is when we were at our best and they were at their worst. Because like when they would have 2 days off, they had like hotter starts and were like solid. And I feel like if the longer we went, just having one day off, having to fly across the country, that like our younger legs could have caught up to them, but never got the chance, unfortunately, to see how Game 7 would have gone.
Yeah, what sucks is that was very winnable series and we just didn't win it. And it would have been nice to just see where we're at barometer wise when playing the Celtics. Because obviously we were never going to beat them in a 7-game series. Grant probably would have talked himself into it.
No, dude, the Celtics are a different level.
But it would have been nice to like see if like where we're at, what we need, see how we match up with a truly a championship level team. But I guess now I'll have to watch the Knicks do it.
Yeah. For this next part, I want to start with a question. We'll talk about in theory, and then I have like 4 fake trades from articles that we'll look at. So see if your thoughts match your actions when you see the trades. I'll start with Evan. Evan, when we look at next year, is blowing it up with this team to go for a bigger, better player, like what people consider a star? Would you rather do that, or do you lean more towards riding it out with this core at least one more year?
Ride it out with the core.
Okay.
I think a lot of the successful teams in the NBA right now are doing that, riding out with the core.
Someone said that.
Celtics. Now
Someone
they have 2
said that during Game
superstars, but
6.
they were at one point. At one point, they were just the young core. They added pieces, but no superstar third guy to their roster.
Drew Holiday.
OKC
as a star.
He's very good, but I don't think anybody would consider him a top 15 player in the NBA.
He's what I want AT to be.
Correct. OKC, 1 seed in the West.
Chat
Nuggets. The Nuggets, they have the MVP
You guys are
investment
both
in the
frozen.
NBA.
Really? Your Wi-Fi must be bad, Alex.
They have
99%.
they both have the best player in the NBA. He is the best player in the NBA, but they have a bunch of key pieces around him. Jamal Murray used to be a superstar before he got injured. Cavs, Donovan Mitchell's kind of a superstar, and then they just have a bunch of very good, talented players. So do not blow it up unless it's very limited resources.
Hmm.
That you get rid of, you're saying?
Correct.
Got it. I see what you're saying. Alex, what do you think? If you can hear me.
It really depends on the player. I've gone back and forth for like a week about this. I like generally having and keeping our core. I would probably just like rework the veterans and the role players a little bit versus like blowing it up, getting a superstar, trading all your good players. So I think I'd ride it out. Unless it's some like superstar, great deal, have to do it type of thing. Like, just depends on the pieces. If it's Ron Holland, see ya.
So mean to the kid.
He'll probably be great, but we'll see.
I think at first you could have blinded me And who knows, maybe I'll change as the summer goes on and we see who like wants ass out of their team. I was like, I was thinking like, yeah, a big name would be cool. I would like to see Cade have that help. The more I've thought about it, the more I've read things, seen cautionary tales, like Evan said, I'm fully in the camp of ride it out one more year with the core. Do the whole, you're getting Ivy and Stewart back as your free agents, quote unquote, even though they're just coming back from injuries. I think with where the team's at age-wise, I think, again, I'm talking collective fan base, just the amount of people. Again, I can't get the TJ Lane thing on my head when he was like, Cade needs a Batman. Like, there's so many scenarios we've seen gone poorly when teams do this shit and get antsy and think it's their time. There was a good Ringer article about it that gave me a couple examples. The two that were given in that were the Atlanta Hawks when they made the Eastern Conference Finals. They're like, let's just go get DeJounte Murray. Like, we're ready. Now they suck. They got like one of the first picks in the draft this last year, and they had to trade Murray away. That's a terrible idea. So there's a bad example. The Sacramento Kings had a little successful run. They kind of tinkered around, and then they're like, let's trade De'Aaron Fox to try to mess around. They're in purgatory now. They suck.
Well, he asked out.
But like I think after things started going downhill with what they tried to do, and then honestly, I think they're going to feel this way after what happens against the Celtics. I think the team we just played is a great example of this. Last year's Knicks were like a feel-good, awesome story that had success, and then Brunson gets hurt against the Pacers or right before then, and they lose. But I think a lot of Knicks fans, if you look them in the eye, would be like, yeah, we could have ran it back with Dante DiVincenzo, who's playing well for Minnesota, and like ran that back. Instead, they gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and they gave up Randall, and they get Cat back just to get like blown out by the Celtics probably. And they're going to be looking in like 2 years, like, what do we go from here? Like, if this is our ceiling when we have the Cavs and the Knicks in front of us, like, was it all worth it? Because I kept going back to that. Like, their payroll is higher than ours, but they like gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. I'm not giving up 5 first-round picks this year for a player of that caliber to try to like go for it next year. I think that's a horrendous idea.
I do think we need a player like that, but not for that price.
I truly think we have players like that on our roster. They're just not at that point yet. Like, I do think we have guys.
We have one glaring issue with all the guys that Troy Weaver drafted, whether they're good or not, is that he did not draft anybody that can shoot.
That's true.
That's like the one thing. And Mikal Bridges, obviously, we saw he can light it up.
Yeah. But Evan's 2 points, I wrote the good teams like Celtics and Thunder have just kind of stuck with it. How many years I've seen like the people are like, oh, when are the Thunder going to trade all their picks or some young guys that get Gilgeous Alexander a sidekick? It's like, I don't know. They just like let their team naturally develop and it worked out. I think that's the route to go. I think we just sit on it. I think it's easy to forget Jane Ivey. Sit on it. I don't want him traded. I think we would regret trading Jaden Ivey. I said in almost 90% of trade scenarios, if I see his name in it, I'm saying no. I do not want to get rid of him in any of these blockbuster trades that are thrown out.
But Evan said last week.
He said no.
Evan said last week that the Lions needed to be making bigger moves. And it's the same type of thing. They're a very young core that's just growing. What's the difference?
I think it's a little different. I don't know, Evan, how do you see it differently?
Lions are one of the younger rosters in the NFL.
Correct, but the NFL, you have more positions to deal with. And you give up less capital per player than the NBA.
No, seems like the same to me.
No.
I think the parity in the Lions is the main thing that I'm thinking
now,
of. Where
you're telling me we have to give up 5 first-round picks for Trey Henderson?
I'm just saying, like, the Lions roster is better than the Pistons roster in comparison to NFL, NBA, and we are not comfortable running back that Lions roster, but we're comfortable running back the 6th seed in the East roster because they're young and we think they'll get better.
I was comfortable with running back the Lions roster. I want more pieces to it to bolster it.
But you don't care about bolstering the Pistons if a trade came that
blowing up the roster, I would not say is bolstering it. That's just adding a superstar, putting a Band-Aid on a freaking huge gaping hole. Completely different.
Wait, Evan, so you're saying you're good ditching future first-round picks for a impact player for the Lions?
Well, Max Crosby or Myles Garrett? Yes.
okay, go lower than that. 'Cause I
Someone
think they're
available?
untouchable.
Correct.
Yeah,
They
someone
were-
we can
well,
get.
We thought they were untouchable. Well,
Like,
we
are we
thought
talking?
we could.
I there's a world in my brain where if we overpay for Hendrickson, I think we hate that move in 2 years. We're like, damn it, we should not
Yeah,
have
that's
done
why
that.
I would never. But I'm saying like this year's second round pick, I would have done it.
Okay, so it just depends on price.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know what was out there.
The Giants come calling us and beg us to take Thibodeau for a
No,
fourth
you
or
can-
fifth round pick.
They have to attach a third to him for us to take him.
No.
They
we're
asked
not
for a
taking
fourth
him.
round pick. I think I would do it.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, our fours or whatever.
Kirby Joseph.
Sure, I'm sure. No, I thought he was a 3. We talked about him.
Yeah. He's free.
No, okay. So first of all, I'm cool with the Lions running it back too, with not making big free agent splashes or trades. But I'll make the argument that I think that came to mind when you said that, Alex, is that the Lions are different to me because I know in my head we're not.
They're in the window.
Yes, like we could beat the Eagles tomorrow, and if we played them in a best of 7 football series, I would like our chances to win the series. I
It
think
would
it'd be
be a
very
game 7.
competitive. The Pistons, the Celtics, and I was just going to use the Celtics because the Cavs lost tonight. I keep saying that. The Celtics are unattainable right now. So I don't think there's like a go all in to beat them next year, where I think if you went all in, I think the Lions could do it this year. And Super Bowl is also kind of different, where like I've always said, you give me one Super Bowl, you can suck for the next 5 years, and I don't care. Like I have that. I watched the Rose after the Pistons lost. I watched the Rose Bowl this weekend, and I felt better about myself. So when you get that, like when you do get that magical season, that will ride you for enough. Pistons, I think basketball is different. You want to be competitive in the playoffs for multiple years,
wanna
the
be
way the sport is.
consistent. You want to be making March Madness for 20
Because football
consecutive
seasons are so
years.
fast. They go so fast. Like you can throw. You don't want to throw away a season, but you can get
You
over a
140
loss. You can get over a
You
lost season.
you wouldn't have the Pistons suck for 5 years to win next year's championship?
No, I
I'm
would.
pretty sure you would. We went
But we can't
15
get
years
there.
without even winning a playoff
I don't
game.
think we can get there with a trade. Even if you put Devin Booker on this team,
I don't either.
think.
But I also think that with only 5 players on the floor, if there's a league that you could make a blockbuster move and win a championship, it would be this one.
Okay, so hypothetically, like if you threw out,
I don't think you can.
I just think we
I
don't,
We're
I don't
NBA
know.
champions.
we don't realize how depleted our roster is about to get if we do one of these trades, which I guess
Correct.
with
I don't know.
big trades can be.
Yes, you would have to get a bunch of guys to buy in on like vet minimums and all that shit, and that probably wouldn't
Shit
happen.
don't
So
work.
yes, yeah, no, it doesn't. But if there is a league to do it, it would be this league. It's a nice graphic.
This is from Bobby Marks. He's a stud. He did a nice little. He does a YouTube video on every team that gets eliminated.
Really nice graphic.
So you got your starting 5 for those that are listening in their car or whatever. Cunningham, Ivy, Asar, Tobias, Duran is like the projected starting 5. Our free agents are.
Booby Hitman.
He was our
Draft pick last year.
Bobby Clintman.
Bobby.
He's an intriguing prospect. You should watch his
that's
tape.
not
played
a
at
real
Wake
guy.
Forest.
No, I'm not going to. It's not a real guy.
He's kind of cool. He's got a
No,
nice
not a real guy.
Bobby Clint.
Our bench sucks
Our free agents are Beasley,
currently.
Hardaway. I'm skipping those 2. Schroeder and Paul Reed.
You need to bring
Brady
back
Waters the
Beasley.
third.
I'll give my 2 cents. You guys tell me if you agree or not. You're probably only bringing 2 of Beasley, Hardaway, and Schroeder back. I would do Beasley and Schroeder. I would let THJ
I would
go.
100% agree.
And I would try to bring back Paul Reed if I could. Like Alex said, I thought his as like a emergency smash glass guy. I thought he was fine. The
Yeah, I
thing
did
with
too.
Beasley though is Beasley's going to be wanting quite a bit of money, I would say, based on the career season he just had. So he may be out of our affordability depending on how bad he wants to be back here.
He said he wanted to be back.
He
That's
did,
the
but
most
he
money he's
also
ever had.
he's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson 2.0. He had a better season than Chauncey did on the Lions, but he runs his mouth so much online that it's almost like I like him, but I don't like him sometimes.
Who's some
Yeah.
3-point shooters we can add, Grant?
That's
I'd
the
like
hard part.
Schroeder back for sure. I think he's the perfect
Does
backup.
Duncan
for our
Robinson
team.
still play basketball?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Evan Beasley had one of the best 3-point shooting seasons in NBA history this past year.
Correct. I'm well aware, but in crunch time, it didn't matter.
Oh, he had some big shots.
He dropped the
credit.
game-tying.
He did. That was
attempts.
crazy.
Great play design. Great play design.
Great play design. Credit to JB for that one because they couldn't foul either. The action was moving too fast.
And you drop it right through the wickets.
I'd just tell myself he wouldn't have made the shot. Is what I tell myself.
Well,
Feel
yeah, I
better.
told myself that too. Like, oh, he probably would.
Yeah, I put that out of my head.
To your point, Evan, I don't think there's anyone that we could just pull off free agency that could give us a Malik Beasley season. I need to look at what he shot.
Steph Curry.
What's Sadiq Bey doing?
Dude, Malik Beasley shot 766 threes and made 319 of them for 42%, shooting 766 threes.
It's pretty good.
It's the NBA.
That is
I'm sure you
insane.
can plug anybody into that role. What's
I don't
Brent
think
Forbes
you
up to?
Plugging in a 700
Forbes.
attempt,
Did Brent
42%
Forbes get
three-point
arrested?
shooter.
Whoa.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
You walked into that one, Evan.
I didn't. I don't follow the
beat
NBA.
beat his wife up or something.
Shit.
Oh,
Beasley and Schroeder would be the two if I could. I think people are like, with Ivy coming back, Schroeder might get more money elsewhere or whatever. I would love him to come off the bench. That guy's a playoff player. I want him
Yeah,
on my
he's-
team.
Yeah, I liked him.
So that's how I feel about them. Let's look at these.
Who
We're
we
not-
drafting
we
at
can't
37,
afford them.
Grant?
Oh, there's some. Well, I think
Ace
we're
Bailey?
too far away from that. Ace Bailey's going top
Oh,
3.
Shit.
Jace Richardson fell to 37.
Oh,
There's
What
a
a
kid
dream.
from.
he's got a Liz Frank injury. I saw it.
There was a kid from
Don't
Duke.
draft him.
There's a kid from Duke, Isaiah Evans, was going around there.
Tyrese Proctor.
He was around there. I actually like him for our team. I do like him. Milos
Another-
Uzan, that kid from Houston with the braids, I think he's a good player. And then there was a kid from Arkansas, Adu Thiero, which is kind of a forward type player who could shoot a little bit.
Whoever it is at 37 is not going to make an impact on this team.
All right, let's start juicing
Ron
now.
Holland barely played, and he was a fifth pick.
This one,
Oh,
Celtics.
whoa.
Pistons would get
Why would the
Jalen
Celtics
Brown.
get rid of him?
So there's rumors right now, Evan, during their playoff run, that the Celtics contracts are so out of control with the tax because
Oh my God, Brad Stevens is leaving his hot mess and going back to Butler.
Tatum, thank you. Tatum
I would
makes
do that.
$250 million, and so does Brown. And then, like, I'll try to find their salary is a mess when you see these contracts they have
What?
here.
Ron
Look at-
Holland, Stewart.
Sorry,
You
look
keep
at
Ivy?
the 25, 26, Evan, if you can. Jalen Brown goes up to $53 million. Tatum, 54.
Isn't the
Holiday's
NBA's cap gonna
32.
just go up anyways? Aren't these all just like? Is
Well,
it one
the
of
way
these
they
players free?
Not to
Playing the
get
luxury tax.
in the weeds, but once you get into like the second apron, you can't make like any trades. It's like very hard to make moves with your team. You're just stuck with that team, which is, you could say that's fine if you're the Celtics because your team's good, but I think they're looking to not pay that much money every year.
Jalen Brown is 35% of the league cap.
Are they over the cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, then their owners have to pay a fat luxury tax.
So this
Well,
trade would be Jalen Brown
Win the
hypothetically
championship,
coming
and
to
you
the
don't give a shit
Pistons.
about the luxury tax.
We would give up Tobias.
Where does the luxury tax go? Like, who are they paying?
The NBA,
That's a good question.
What's the
Probably.
NBA do with that money?
a lot of stuff.
I doubt it.
They probably expand the game
It's like
overseas.
it's just a company. It's like a company making money.
In the NBA, the luxury tax revenue is redistributed to teams that do not exceed the tax.
So it's money in our pocket.
This is money in our pocket. Half of the tax revenue is distributed among these teams, and the other half goes to the NBA's revenue sharing program. It helps smaller market teams compete with the larger teams. So it goes to
Good call
Tom
by the
Gores.
NBA.
It goes to Tom Gores. He makes money.
Shout out Utah Jazz and Charlotte.
We would get Jalen Brown.
No.
We would have to give up Tobias Harris, Beef Stew, let's say Jay and Ivy, in a 2027 first round
No, let's say Ron Holland because that is what it says. It says
pick. They
or.
wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do this deal for Ron Holland.
Well, if it's Ron Holland, I'm doing it.
Okay, it's not Ron Holland. I tell you, it's
Then
not.
I'm not. Then I'm not.
And they want another first round pick. So they want Tobias, Beef Stew, Ivy, 2 first round picks for Jalen Brown.
They don't give us like Peyton Pritchard.
No, paying Pritchard's like $6 million a year.
Well, I would like him.
No. So then your starting lineup, thinking back, is Cade, Jalen Brown, Asar, Duran, and fill in the blank.
No.
And you have Ron Holland on the bench. So that's
Can't
where
do
I'm
it.
like, I don't think these. I don't know
Well,
if these
Ron Holland
trades.
instead of Ivy. Yes.
Xavier Tillman.
Xavier Tillman. Here's a Zion one. I know Alex loves Zion.
Zion Williamson?
This one is Pistons.
No.
You gotta be shitting me. This is real?
Not
This
for
is
No.
Jaden
at least- I
Ivey.
mean, this is all. Evan, we could write this article and make it up. Like, anyone can.
Well,
make
let's
this.
write our own. Let's send
Pistons
it out
will get-
tomorrow.
Pistons get Zion. We give up Ivy, Tobias, first round pick, second round pick, second round pick.
No.
Top 5 protected. No.
No,
Be
for
in the
me.
top 5. The way the
No.
NBA likes to screw over teams, we're not going to get the top
Although the
5.
lobs to Zion would be fun.
Are
Another
you
lob
kidding me?
guy. Same
We'll
draft.
just draft Cohen Carr next year.
Pistons get Ja Morant.
That's not realistic. And we
Pistons
can't
give
have
up.
grenade guy.
Pistons give up Tobias, Ivy, first round pick, spread out. 27, 29, 31.
I don't like how you can trade first-round picks 8 years from now.
Well, yes, but you can't do back-to-back years. So you have to do every other year. You can't do 27, 28 like in football.
Ja
That's
Morant,
so
Cade Cunningham, same team.
Ja Morant, Cade Cunningham,
Still have
Asar,
Asar, still have Duran,
Duran.
still have Beef Stew.
Nelson.
That one's interesting.
Wouldn't do it. Don't like the guy's character.
I don't think it's a good fit.
Here's this one, a little
I know
less
who we could
splashy.
get. Jaren Jackson Jr.
What's up with
Pistons-
this lingerie stuff you got going on below?
It's free
You've
ads.
been Googling.
So you know the Kardashians brand?
Oh.
I bought a shirt from there, so now I get their Skims ad, but it's
you
like
bought a
it's like,
men's Skims shirt?
yeah, it's like nice
Ooh,
dry fit shirts.
Intimates.
Oh, and I got underwear from there. They have good underwear.
Grant, what would it take to get Jaren Jackson Jr.?
I don't know.
Because the
This is
Grizzlies
the
won't be
last
able
one.
to pay him because he'll be on like the Luka Doncic
They paid him.
super max. No, they have not yet. He's gonna be asking
I don't
for
want
$350
CJ
million
McCollum.
from the Grizzlies.
Would you do this one? Tim Hardaway Jr., Marcus Sasser, a first round pick in 2029, a 2027 second round pick for CJ McCollum.
No,
Sure.
he's not even that good anymore.
Sure, but like
He's always
price is
injured.
cheap.
This is the only one I would do, but I don't like giving a first round unprotected pick for CJ McCollum when I might need that down the road.
I mean, CJ McCollum's an upgrade over Hardaway, so I guess sure.
Yeah. I'm curious what's going to happen to Sasser, though.
Wouldn't get me
You know he's
excited.
my guy.
He's not very good.
Evan, I'll give you a trade for Jaren Jackson Jr.
Literally was just watching because
So-
somebody got injured in the NBA, wouldn't qualify as a defensive player of the year. So that defensive player of the year is going to go to Jaren Jackson Jr., which is going to qualify him for getting the supermax for the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies can't afford it because they're a small market team.
All right, Evan. I'm GM of the Grizzlies. You're GM of the Pistons.
Deal.
You accept?
Oh shit.
Okay, Evan. I heard you want my player Jaren Jackson Jr. Is this true?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna need.
Rim protector.
Why are you talking like
You-
that?
And
I'm
you can
gonna need-
shoot.
We're role playing. Okay, we're on a business call. You're just observing. Maybe you're crunching the numbers for the salaries for us, Alex.
Please.
Like a common boy. All right, Evan. First things first. Let's talk about picks. I'm gonna need your 2027 first round pick and your 2029 first round pick.
2027, 2029. Sure.
Yep.
Deal.
Okay. I need Jay and Ivy from you as well.
Who else is in the package?
I'm going to need a 4 to replace Jaren, so I'm going to need Tobias Harris as well. So I'm going to need Tobias and Ivy and 2 first-round picks.
Bias doesn't have many years left on him. He's not even going to be around in 2029. Jaden Ivey, can I give him up? I think I can. I think I'd do it.
Okay. I'm also worried about my rim protection, though, so I'm going to need Duran as well.
Duran!
No, Grant, don't get crazy. That's just
No.
stupid.
You can have Paul Reed for
All right,
free.
Just so you guys
All right.
know, back to reality.
No, substitute Duran for beef stew. Do we have a
You can
deal?
have Beef Stew. Beef Stew can't
Okay.
score.
So you would do the Jaylen Brown trade if it was Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's
essentially what we
stupid.
ended up
Evan.
getting to. For 2 with another first-round pick.
Yes.
No bias
Younger.
there.
Alex, he's
Yeah.
younger. Plays a different
Barely.
position. Plays a position that we
Oh.
don't have.
A position
So we
that's
have-
not as important.
So Evan, GM, you have Cade.
And he's not a ball hawk.
You have Cade, vet minimum, Asar, JJJ, and Duran.
That team sucks, Evan.
Good luck scoring on that team, though.
You don't have
But
any
good luck scoring. Good
We have
luck
Cade and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, but you don't have a guard. You don't have
You
a
have-
two guard.
You have
Our
Tim
37th
Hardaway
pick
Jr.
is going to be
Tim
our
Hardaway Jr. is playing 2 guard. You re-signed him for the
and
vet
Duncan
minimum.
Robinson. And
Duncan Robinson sucks.
You know what I
somebody
think this
else.
exercise proved? Don't
PJ
blow
Wilson.
Malik Beasley is the 10th best available free agent in 2025. Just so you
It up.
guys
That's
know.
insane.
We bring
He's
him
gonna-
back,
he's-
Alex.
Dude, he's gonna
Beasley's
make-
back on the team.
He's going to make 15 a year. He's going to
You
get
know
like
who's
a
number
3-year, $60 million deal, I think.
Who's number one?
James Harden.
Free agency class this year is terrible.
I don't.
I already looked at it.
Kyrie, number
Terrible.
2.
Nope.
No.
I think Josh Giddey was top 6.
No.
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 Okay, keep on.
Stan
Alex,
Pat.
give me a
Jonathan,
list.
Jonathan Kuminga is top 10.
The
Cum
cum bucket.
bucket.
Let me give you a list.
I already looked at these. They're not.
Grant, we
it's
make
not
the
good.
trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. and we signed Malik Beasley.
So Cade,
James
Beasley,
Harden.
Asar.
LeBron James, Julius Randle,
No,
Kyrie
no,
Irving,
no,
Miles Turner, Josh Giddey,
no,
Fred
no.
Van Vliet. Yes.
no, cold.
No.
Jonathan
Why'd you say
Kumbucket.
yes?
I would take Fred Van Vliet. Naz Reid. Malik
Nope.
Beasley, number 10.
Naz Reid, yes. Naz Reid's a killer.
Santiago Aladama.
I don't even know who that is.
Cam Thomas.
That was a test.
Kelly
He's not
Kelly
actually an NBA
Oubre.
player. No,
Brooke Lopez.
No,
Ty
I've heard
Jerome.
enough. I've heard
Bobby
enough.
Portis. Nikhil Alexander Walker. I'm getting to 20. Karis LeVert is 18.
Oh my god, this is a bad class.
John Collins, 19.
Dude, he's been wanting. He's going around for years.
20 and 21 tells you everything you know. Mo Wagner is 21. This 21st best available free agent
Good potential
is
there.
Mo Wagner.
Can I say one thing as we had in the offseason, then we'll move on from the Pistons? We did cover them a lot, so Pistons
Run it
fans,
back.
this is it.
Get everybody back at the team and run it back.
I think our GM finally knows what he's doing. I think we're forgetting the smartness of him to get Schroeder at the deadline when he got passed around in that mega trade for Jimmy Butler. That was a great move who paid off. Beasley had a career year. So Tim Hardaway was fine. I'm confident that they figure it out, and I just hope he doesn't get anxious. And I think Goris will give him some, since we had one good year finally, I think he'll give him some patience. So that's all I hope for. Quick news, going fast here. Hour 45 in. Detroit Tigers are just ripping it up. They're so good.
Baseball team.
We're almost at the top and everything in terms of standings. We're leading the Central.
Good baseball team.
Only thing that sucks is there's a gajillion baseball games left.
We're 20% of the way through the season. Percentage-wise,
Yeah,
I looked it
But
up
Alex,
today.
we haven't been off to this hot of a start in franchise history.
That true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had never won 19 games before May 1st.
Wow.
1984, on April 30th, we had an off day, and we were 18-2.
And they won the World Series.
Asterisk there. We were 35-5 to start the year. Just
Wow.
highlighting the past.
Holy
You don't remember?
crazy start.
Yeah.
I don't remember that? No, I was not alive.
But I'm saying you just never been told that stat.
Probably, but I didn't remember it.
Okay, so our hot weekend. Pause.
Well, Flaherty lost last night.
It's okay.
Look at
Short
you
time.
going for the
The
losses.
Tigers scored 34 runs this weekend, most in a series since
2011.
2013.
I was going to say 13. I should have just said it.
In May of
Prince
13.
Fielder, probably.
We scored 37 runs then. Okay, over the weekend, dating back to April 28th, so a full week, the Tigers lead the MLB with home runs hit 20.
That's crazy because we're a
That's
cold
the
weather
most
city.
we've hit in any 7-game stretch since when?
2013.
2012.
2004.
Wow. Not even close on that one.
21.
Delman Young. No, what was that guy's name?
Bobby Higginson?
Dimitri Young.
Dimitri Young.
Yeah.
Dimitri Young.
We combining names. Carlos Pena.
Yeah.
So that just highlights it.
Spencer
Scooble gives up-
Torkelson's middle name is that?
What is it? Does anyone know it?
I've seen it before, but I can't remember what it is.
Enox?
Wow.
Enox?
Oh, like
Enochs.
Isn't that like a Game of Thrones thing? Like an Enoch?
Spencer Enox Torkelson.
It's a religious thing.
Well, the guy's got 10 dingers.
It's Hebrew.
7 ribbies.
It's Hebrew. Is his family
Still
Jewish?
only hit 234, though.
It means dedicated, trained, and disciplined. That's kind of sick.
Okay, but also this is also another stat for you, Alex. Scooble.
Okay.
How good is he?
Oh, I saw this one.
Cy
so
Young
I
good.
can't answer.
5-start stretch.
Yeah, I saw that.
30
Saw that
innings
one.
pitched. Under 1 ERA. 0.90 ERA. 38 strikeouts. Only 1 walk.
It's like the most dominant
Command.
stretch by a pitcher ever.
Scott
Only
Harris
2
would
other
command the
pitchers.
strike zone.
Only 2 other pitchers have marks like that. Zach Gallen, Cy Young Award winner, and Corey Kluber, Cy Young Award winner.
And Tarek Skubal, Cy Young winner.
I got a
Not to
couple stats
mention
too. If you have more evidence,
Grant's MVP caliber player hit 2 home runs
So
in the
good.
9th inning for the first time ever by a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, so
That's
good.
true.
Yeah, I thought it's a
I thought it
crazy
was the
stat.
Ever.
I thought he was the first Tiger to do
No,
that. I didn't realize
first
that was the
MLB
first
player
ever.
Baseball's a long
unbelievable.
game.
That is
Unbelievable from
elite.
Alex.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. For
Okay,
a game
Alex,
that's
this is the
been
first
going
time a
that long.
Tiger hit 2 home runs in an inning since when? Famous.
2000.
13.
Wait.
No,
Give me the year and see, and then I can see if I get.
Oh,
the question.
Castellanos probably. JD.
2007.
I was gonna say 17.
Pudge Rodriguez.
Dimitri Young.
No. Maglio Ordonez.
Chris Shelton. Oh. Alex, you know your unbelievable thing? That was a side tangent. I was listening to some of the Spit and Chicklets show because I like when they do the playoff hockey to catch up on it. The hockey guys, they say unbelievable or unreal
Yes.
every line. It's
Correct.
insane.
Oh, don't hate on Sean McDonough.
No, not him.
No, the
On the
Spit
show.
Chicklets.
But there's like, this guy's
Oh.
unreal. Like his
I love
mitts are
those
so
guys.
unbelievable.
I think that's where it started when I would listen to that show and be like, what did they say every sentence? And then Grant started saying every sentence.
All right, let me do my stats for you guys quickly. You guys remember from last year when we were terrible? Oh, not last year. The year
We
before.
were not
when like,
terrible last year, dude. We had a
At the start.
magical playoff
Beginning of the year,
run
we were bad.
that
beginning of the year.
ended for us in an LSU bar.
In
Yes.
a 0.3% chance to make the playoffs at one point during the year.
Yeah,
we
we were
made
bad
it.
last year to start the year. We always would come on here and I would show you the OPS
We're doing
on
what
base
on
plus
here?
slugging.
Yeah, I still don't
Come
really
on,
get
man.
it.
Oh.
On base plus slugging percentage.
I'm just going to be a batting average guy. I'm going to stick with it.
No,
That's what I care about.
You're a
No one
bad
cares
scout.
about batting
Then.
average anymore.
Again, here's your handy chart of what means good. So if you are
Cool.
8.83,
I need this.
83%.
I
Okay,
need this on my wall.
above average. If you're a 0.9 or higher, you're great. You're a great hitter. 0.83 to 0.9. We used to never
Just
have
leave it up.
anybody.
Just leave it up and tell me the people.
Spencer Torkelson leading our team 0.889.
Very good.
hitter.
He's
Gary
very
Carpenter
good. He's batting
0.87.
234 average.
Doesn't matter. See,
Gary
Alex?
Carpenter's what?
0.87.
It's pretty good.
Javi Baez 0.83.
Yeah, what can we talk about Javi Baez for a bit?
Above average.
Playing center field, dude.
The fact that he's playing center field is also unbelievable. What he's doing out there.
I don't know
It's
if it's like
The
I don't
best
know if he's
athletes
like
in the world that can be able to play multiple positions. It's hand-eye coordination. That's all it is.
I don't know if he has
but
any
he goes
lowlights.
out
I
there
just
and
see
he
the highlights.
Makes plays. I'm like, what the This dude's not a center fielder.
Yeah, and then last night we had an error in center field. Does Javi Baez make that error?
Was it him or no?
No.
So is
Riley
Javi
Green
Baez going to
and Kerry
convert to
Carpenter
our full-time
miscommunication.
center fielder?
No,
No.
it's just somebody that has to play center field when there's a lefty on the or the lefty or righty, depends on like pitching matchup.
He's sick
And
out there, though.
Riley Green physically can't play center field every single night.
They don't want him to. I don't think.
No,
Yeah. All right. So
he's
he's
more
in
injury prone to center
0.83.
field.
So he's above average on top of playing anywhere you need him to play. Gleyber Torres is 0.83. Riley Green's 0.81. Dingler's 0.8. McKinstry's 0.8. This is the most time I've ever seen this many people with 0.8 or higher. Just our lineup, 6-7 deep of just guys with an OPS above average hitting, which is awesome. And a couple very good hitters. So that's great to see. Torkelson is top 25 OPS in the entire MLB in the show, as the kids say in the business. So
You're welcome.
credit to you, Evan, for your top pick. This is basically the Evan like tickle your fancy stat. Casey Mize is the top 25 WHIP in the entire MLB as well, which is very, very unexpected if you said going into this year. So, Alex, for you, WHIP is walk hits
I
per
know
inning
what
pitched.
is. Thank you.
I got another chart for you. Don't worry. So this is a good WHIP
I
chart.
know what whip is.
No, but these are the numbers.
I
if
know
it's
what
good or not.
OPS is. I just don't know why when we switch. Like when did
When we
we
switch
switch
to
to
these?
the graphic being just OPS in batting average is gone?
When people
what
got
year?
smarter.
What year did that
People
happen?
started trying to just elevate the ball and hit home runs.
Well, really, when Moneyball came out, they were already onto it. So
No.
before Moneyball,
4 or 5 years ago.
yeah, like
When they
Moneyball, they,
actually
weren't
started-
using average.
Yeah,
They were
Grant,
just
they were
using
doing it in when we were
OPS.
still watching. games. Batting average is the only thing that mattered.
On the graphic?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm saying
news
when did
stations still
everybody
do that.
adopt it?
Oh. 2019?
No, the Tigers
After
probably
COVID?
ass. So
Yes.
All right, I got a
Missed
couple
that.
whips for you. Scooble, 0.98. Better than excellent.
unbelievable.
Casey Mize, 1.09. Better than great.
But Grant, this is from 10 years ago, so maybe whips have changed a little. Maybe it's got better.
No, the standard is the standard, Alex.
Okay.
You give up less than one walk or hit.
What was Kenta Maeda? 2.7?
No, I'll get to
3.5.
Flaherty, 1.18, so above average. Reese Olson, 1.22, above average. So all of our pitchers, to the point we talked about, this is some numbers behind it, are above average pitching staff.
Did Olsen get his ERA below 3 today?
His ERA is 3.03. Is what this says.
A lot, though.
Alex, you wanted to see what the worst is?
No, I just want to see Kenta Maeda's.
Well, he's cut. We cut him. He's gone.
Maeda is 1.88. Montero's 1.76 and Bo Brisky's 1.62.
Wilburski's
Job is also 1.33, so Job's pitching fine as well. That is right average for a pitcher.
My favorite pitcher on our team is who?
Will Vest.
Will Vest.
Will
Tyler
Vest.
Horton.
Will Vest. Love that guy.
He's got a great beard.
My other thing was we might need to give, speaking of Javi, we might need to give Gleyber Torres a hitting coach salary as well, because I think him actually teaching Javi how to hit this year is a real thing.
Believe it.
Well, people forget Javi Baez used to be good until he became a Tiger.
No, Alex, he had some bad years for the Cubs. He
Yeah,
was
he
good
had
in
some
2016,
down years
almost a
for the
decade
Cubs.
ago.
People forget he got the MLB logo tattooed at the bottom of his neck when he was a kid because he knew he was going to make the MLB. I think
Alex,
people
the
don't talk
Cubs
about
never
that
signed him
enough.
for a reason.
Did you know that, Alex? Oh, that
Yeah,
tattoo?
I knew that.
I
But
don't think you did.
he was sick at least at one point in his life.
Alex, your goal by the end of the summer, so by July 1st, I want a 5-person list of trade targets from you.
Why?
For the Tigers?
Yeah, people that we're going to require.
Why,
Deadline,
though?
you're saying.
Why for me?
Don't blow it up, just like the Pistons. Keep Ryan out.
Yeah.
Wait till Max
No,
Clark,
I'm not saying blow it up,
McGonigal.
but there's some prospects that will never make it just due to who's in front of them that we could get rid of.
Theron
I can't-
Lorenzo is untouchable, so don't include him in any mock trades.
I can't imagine we're going to make any like splash move. We
I
don't.
don't know if we have to.
I was just saying, do we need to? We're the third
I'm not
best
saying
team
you
in
have to make a
baseball.
splash, but you're going to add somebody.
Yeah, like a reliever. Someone that can,
figure out who
help
that
you in the
reliever is.
postseason.
Do you guys see that Bregman's like a top 5 hitter in the MLB so far?
Yeah.
Speaking of trades, that would
He
have
just
been.
hit his
Imagine if we
first
had
home
him
run
as
not that long
well.
ago.
That would have been insane if we had him in the lineup too. We'd be too good. We'd be like the Dodgers. You would be like the Tigers and monopolize the MLB. Speaking of a team that's not doing well, just quick thoughts on the Red Wings end of season press conference. Evan, what do you think's next with this
Nothing.
club?
It's a clown show. I mean, come on.
The clip in the press conference I sent pissed me off. I thought that was
we don't have
unprofessional.
enough resources. We won't be given enough resources to make any big splashes in the offseason. I don't think any free agents want to come here.
The Red Wings are about
significantly.
to be approaching the Tigers' boycott levels.
This
This is unacceptable, Evan.
I'm well aware. I'm on your side. Trust me.
They haven't made the playoffs since 2016.
Are you using the resources as an excuse for Eiserman?
No, I'm
Like-
not. But
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he's getting frustrated with everything that he's.
Let me
been
tell you,
dealt.
my length of rope on Eiserman is about a millimeter at this
I'm
point.
never going to give up on him just due to he is.
Oh, I will.
The
I'll be
face
the
of
first.
Hockey Town. But
Great player.
He's on
Not
thin
doing a great
ice.
job. Oh,
No pun intended.
Mhm.
Evan, let me ask you a question more specifically. I was getting caught up on this.
He hasn't figured out the goaltending situation. We still can't figure out any of the defense. So, like, it is
Unacceptable.
What
We haven't made the playoffs yet in his tenure. Unacceptable.
Goaltending is a problem. We need to figure out.
it is. And
someone
he's
who can stop a
also
puck.
he's too stubborn with all of his prospects. Like, eventually, you're going to have to cut ties with some of them to get a superstar on the team.
Unacceptable, Evan.
He
You're
said to
saying
the
it.
press, though, that he is willing to go. We'll see if it's true, Evan, to your point. He said he's willing to go all in if the right free agent's there.
He
Yeah,
said that
that's a
the last
cop-out.
couple of
That's-
years, and he tried to get Stamkos. Rumor has it that Illich said no because he didn't want to pay for Stamkos.
I have a guy this year though.
We can't make the Illich like thing a thing anymore because the Tigers are good despite him.
Yeah, but the Illich, it's not spending. It's the prospects that we've had. We haven't spent.
The Tigers aren't spending either, and they're good.
Okay, so you have to give Yzerman more time then.
Well, I have.
It's a little harder to get into the Major League Baseball than it is. It's a little easier to get in Major League Baseball than it is hockey.
I feel like if there's any two sports that are comparable in their weird farm systems, it would be those two.
Alex, this is also coming from a team that the Tigers had
That's
two
true.
number one overall draft picks, and the Red Wings have fallen back 5 years in a row. Never got the number one overall. When we were even the worst team in hockey, we didn't get the number one pick.
But
And
our
the
best pitcher is
NHL's
Casey
so stupid
Mize.
during COVID. They said, you know what?
Scoop.
Everybody gets it, and they gave it to a playoff team. They gave the number one overall pick to a playoff team.
I don't know if the Tigers are a great example because it was ironically came up when Cody with the C said that about Scott Harris. But Scott Harris is going to good job, but like these are all Avila's players.
This is not,
so like
Scott
if we
Harris.
fired Steve Yzerman, the new GM might look sick because it's just all the prospects that Steve drafted.
Yeah.
The Avila thing is just mostly because he got trade raped every freaking July.
He was a
Given all
horrendous
of
trader of
props.
assets.
Yeah, he
Every
drafted
GM
well.
in Major League Baseball was waiting for Al Avila to call him because he knew
And he
that he was going to have a
sucked
good day.
He sucked at press conferences. Like he just didn't command a room at all, and it was just like this guy's got to go. I have a name. I'm gonna try throw my hat in the ring for a guy, Mitch Marner. I think that's the name in the streets. The Leafs can't pay everyone. I think that's who we're gonna go after. We're gonna pick off a Leaf.
We're going to steal him from Brendan Shanahan.
Marner, Larkin, Raymond, top line. Does it do anything for you?
It does a
for
little
me.
bit. It's better.
I'm
The roster's
entering
better.
boycott mode.
I'm not.
I think this
like,
is it.
The sad thing is, Grant, like you have to. If you bring in Mitch Marner, you have to bring back Kane. You have to. Kane's our best offensive skilled guy on the roster.
I agree.
Does
Kane's gotta
that
be
say
back.
that? Does that say that's an issue?
No,
it's not.
he's the best American
Kane's
player
one
of all
the
time.
top yes.
He just sucks at defense. He doesn't play defense, but he's like sick at offense. He's like the opposite of a Star Thompson.
Okay. Also, one of the
Yeah, what
big.
you just said we don't need. We need defense.
Alex, one of the big red
I agree.
flags, though, in the Yzerman tenure is he's been playing this wheel of whatever death at the goalie position for the last like 5 or 6 years, and he hasn't been able to find
Get one. Buy one.
Augustine. You guys are
No,
selfishly
Augustine's
keeping Augustine.
Going back to
Selfish.
Michigan
Not
State.
August- It's
Selfish.
not going to be Augustine. I don't
Sebastian
think he's going to be
Cossa.
good in the NHL.
I think he will be. He's Team USA like best goalie for his age.
See, goalies develop a lot in minor leagues.
That's my hot take.
Because you think
But
he's
It's going to
bad?
take a while for him to be good. I don't
I
think
would say
he'll be
the
bad,
big
but I think it's
thing,
gonna
rumor
take a while.
has it, you have to get into the Isaac Howard sweepstakes.
I was just
as
going
a
to say, can we
hometown
just get
product.
Isaac Howard now?
Who's that?
Because he's not signing with the Lightning. He
He's
won the
a Hobie
Hobie
Baker
Baker. He's the best
award
player in
winner.
college.
Him and the Lightning have some beef over a contract dispute and where he was going to be placed when he joined the Lightning organization, and now he basically is going to be a free agent.
Yeah,
But he can't
he's not
start
signing.
next year based on how hockey
He's
works.
going back to Michigan State
He's come
because of
back.
the Lightning.
Oh, the player. We're not talking about goalies anymore. We got off of goalies. I know who Isaac Howard is. I thought we were talking about a goalie that I missed. Okay, I know who Isaac Howard
Yeah,
is.
there's two
Yeah,
goalies in the
again.
Red Wings farm system. Sebastian Cossa, who's in the minor league, played for the Walleye a little bit, played for the
Yeah, that
Ravens.
kid's got to play next year.
He's the big
Shit or
he
get off the
was
pot.
a first-round pick by Yzerman, and then you have Trey Augustine, who's still in college. He's behind Cossa.
Who's also too small.
More serious question. This is actually intriguing. This is juicy stuff. I didn't see Larkin's press conference at the end of the year, but after they put them side by side on Bleacher Report did, I think Chicklets tweeted it. So at the end of the year, Larkin said people in the locker room, the boys were a little down because we didn't make any trades at the deadline. They were hoping for a little bit of a boost. They asked Steve about that question. He said, I think the captains and not captains, I think the leaders of the team need to provide their own morale boost. So we have our GM and our captain
It's a disaster.
verbally throwing shots at each other. Do you think any smoke to like Larkin is gone? I don't want him to be gone. I know you
Larkin's
don't.
not
Evan.
gone. He just signed a contract extension.
Okay, so you think that was just two alpha males in the media kind of just
Correct.
going at each other?
Not good
It
either
was
way.
one
was
person.
weird.
One person trying to place the blame on another, and the other one just instantly shot it down, saying, "Hey, this ain't my freaking fault. I'm not."
I'm setting my boycott guidelines. If the Red Wings are under 500 through 20 games next season, boycott begins.
Okay, but we also knew this issue was going to come about at the beginning of the season when last year free agency and offseason moves, we lost more people than we brought.
But we
in.
also
We did
said
say
there was
that. We
no
did say
doubt
that.
that they need to make the playoffs this year. We said that.
I agree, but I also told you don't be shocked
did
at
it.
the playoffs due because we didn't bring back a lot of the role guys.
Tarasenko did nothing.
Tarasenko was also a big flop.
We got worse.
By 3 or 4 games. Now, there's also like, okay, we didn't miss the playoffs by that much.
We haven't made the playoffs in a decade.
Correct.
And we just saw the Pistons make the playoffs. Making the playoffs is way more fun than sucking every season.
You can turn around pretty quick. Now you have a new head coach.
You're telling me the Pistons and Tigers made the playoffs before the Red Wings?
Alex,
it's absurd.
You can turn it around in hockey a lot sooner than some sports. But now we'll have a new head coach for a full year. He brought some boost to us when we went on a 7-game win streak around Christmas
time. Those were good times.
That was a great time, and then we lost to the freaking Wild at home, I believe, after the All-Star break, after we had a 2-goal lead with 4 minutes left. We were on primetime TV on Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
We got hosed in the Stadium Series. We got hosed on that call in the Stadium Series.
No high stick on Larkin in the face.
That's true. I was pissed when that happened.
Dirty horseshoe.
Also, we played the Columbus back-to-back days, and we got swept by them, who turned around and was ahead of us in the playoffs.
Well, I'm just telling you, you get pissed about all our other Detroit teams, and you're just so lenient with this team. I don't think it's fair.
Well,
you
Alex,
should be pissed.
Invest your stock into a dude named Axel, and hopefully he makes the Red Wings roster next year.
Sanda Palinka?
I just want Evan to be mad about all teams equally.
I'm gonna make you guys know that Gordon Ramsay meme where it's like how he treats this, and then you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
No.
Let me find it.
I treat the Red Wings like they're my babies. Everyone else can.
Evan jumped on Brad Holmes, the best GM we've ever had in our lives last week, and then he's sitting here giving Steve Yzerman
Brad Holmes hasn't won a championship.
The left is Evan with
Steve
the Red Wings.
GM.
And the right, the left is Evan with the Red Wings, and the right is him with any other team in our city.
Correct. Tweet that.
Yeah, I gotta make that a meme. Put
X
Evan
that.
with this is to relate to my team that I care about. We're living the moment that I didn't realize we were living with Michigan football. This right now, Steve Yzerman is his Jim Harbaugh 6 years in, can't beat Ohio State. Steve can't make the playoffs. It turned out pretty good for Jim and the boys. They may have cheated. Who cares? But we'll see what happens with Steve Yzerman. It's a do it or die trying situation. If you get rid of him now, do you look back and be like, wow, we were almost there? Or do you hold on to him? So I'm going to be patient because I did see that happen. That's my only thought.
Some people, rumor has it, some media outlets, some 97.1, some other sources are saying Steve Yzerman has a lifetime contract for the Red Wings.
Let me tell you, if he misses the postseason next year again, they better get rid of that lifetime contract.
Coach Calipari had a lifetime contract with the Wildcats.
I think that's a little bit different because that deals with a lot of different fan bases of money and paying athletes and whatnot. This is like professional sports, and like Greg Popovich has a lifetime contract.
Yeah.
Some people say he has one so that Illich doesn't have to worry about it.
We got to separate Yzerman the player from Yzerman the GM from our team.
Yeah, Yzerman the GM hasn't won shit for this team. I don't give a shit what he did for the Lightning
so far.
Never forget us watching the buzzer beater goal 2 years ago.
Yes,
our second most embarrassing moment on the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to find that clip.
That's not an embarrassing moment. That was a great...
Quickly, Alan Haller got fired. Michigan's president's going to Florida.
Just left.
Alan Haller sacked.
Well, his last day's May 11th, so he has a week and a half to...
Why'd you throw Michigan's president in? What does that have to do with anything?
He's going to Florida.
I know,
new president, things can change.
Matter, does it?
He cared about sports. Yeah, that's why we just fired our AD because of our president. What are you talking about?
I saw the San Antonio news. I don't think the new president is going to make that much of a difference.
That could be higher.
I think the machine at Michigan doesn't care about the president. I don't think Larry Ellison cares about the president.
Ward Manuel better be shaking his boots right now.
Well, Ward's a lifer.
If Ward was gone, that kind of be a good thing, I think. I don't know. Were you guys surprised by the news?
I was shocked, to be honest.
Shocking. Nice.
I'm not on the message boards like Alex.
I didn't see it on the message boards at all. I've just seen a lot of, fire Alan Hallers. I've seen that on Twitter for, 3 years.
Yeah,
so
but
I think he's a good...
scratching their nuts on the
Obviously,
couch. That's
I think he's a good publicity guy. He's always at events. He's a good shake hands, kiss ass kind of guy, and he has hired... right now, very good people in the athletic department as head coaches.
Coach hire guy.
He's also
Except for Mel Tucker.
except for Mel Tucker.
He didn't hire him.
Yeah, he did.
Bill Bigman also did. And then, obviously, the biggest Michigan State biggest news reporter out there, Spiro, came out and basically was bashing. No, he was bashing the fact that we didn't bring in Nick Saban or bring back Nick Saban or Urban Meyer, and was like basically blaming Alan Haller for the fact that we didn't bring in Urban Meyer.
He's still beating that drum.
Yes, he was beating that dead horse this morning, Grant, on X, Twitter.
That must be on your. I haven't muted on our podcast one. That must be Evan in the personal one.
And the fact that you think an AD would bring in somebody with that much baggage after the baggage that he had to get rid of, I just don't see it happening.
Well, clearly, I don't know if it's about Urban Meyer, but clearly some higher-up people did not like him. That's how that decision gets made.
According to his post today, his 9-paragraph post this morning on X basically said that Alan Haller didn't want him, and he's the reason why Urban Meyer didn't come to Michigan State.
Okay.
That's wild.
Urban Meyer aside, I don't think this has anything to do with it, probably.
Jonathan Smith's buyout just got decreased in half if anybody wants to buy him out.
Alan Haller's had zero plan for NIL since it started and has been banking on it becoming like legal with the whole court case and everything.
Well, it's about to be. It's about to be executive order.
Will get pushed, so who knows? And he didn't have a plan to raise money outside of just the school paying directly, which all these other schools have NIL collectives that are going to be funding on top of the $20.5 million.
Right.
Also, he never would endorse an NIL collective publicly because he was afraid that he'd be breaking rules, even though every other school did it, because that's just a cop in him, because he was a former cop, doesn't want to break rules. He even said basically in his release that he was not willing to bend rules the way donors wanted him to. And so now Michigan State's donors didn't support him because they wouldn't do anything he wouldn't do anything they asked. So then they wouldn't give money. And then basically they forced him out. That's how it worked. The donors forced him out because he didn't care about raising money. He didn't care about NIL. He cared about hiring coaches, which he should. That matters. He just done a good job of that. And he cares. I don't think it's fair to say this, but he puts a lot of emphasis on other sports outside of football and basketball. And ultimately, donors don't care about that.
You think so? You think Tom Izzo had anything to do with it, or no? Just completely.
From what I heard, Izzo is on board with getting someone more to the Mark Hollis level that cares deeply about football and basketball being kings.
Well, no shit.
All right.
So I think
I want a guy that cares about my sport more and gives me more money. Yes, I think every coach would say that.
Poor guy got fired after a Big Ten title season, Elite Eight appearance.
Ultimately, football's the number one driver, and if you suck at football and you can't recruit in football because you don't have NIL in place, still. And see if you don't want to fundraise in today's society,
collectively give that NIL to the right people.
Apparently, Smith and his staff have been asking for monies and better NIL for the whole entire time. And Haller promised that when he hired him, and then didn't deliver on it, and that pissed people off.
I was about to say, then why did Smith take the job if he wasn't given the NIL money?
Because he was promised.
He had to get out of Oregon State because they're not going to be. They were getting kicked out of their conference, so he kind of had to go to any P5 school, I would feel like.
And I know Evan doesn't like it, and I don't like it. The whole college sports, this is what it is now. But if you're an athletic director, you have to be a fundraiser, kiss ass, get money from your biggest donors. You got to get your Larry Ellisons to pay for your teams. This is how it works.
Low key, job kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, good money, cool title, but you just have to beg people for more money every day.
10 years ago, Alan Haller's probably a great AD. He probably does a really good job because none of this NIL stuff is a thing. So you don't have to worry about that.
We'll always have that.
Hired Nightingale.
Well, he did bring in a lot of good stuff for the university. I know how much the board
he's a good guy.
has a lot to do with it, but
yeah, you guys really never had the NIL situation. Looking from afar, always seemed kind of people started it and then payments weren't going through, and there was a lot of weird stuff on Twitter I saw about NIL. So I guess it makes sense more now that I see that he's gone. That
I read one article that there was one collective that was Mel Tucker pushed for, and again, a lot of problems also came from Mel Tucker. But he had a collective, and they had this like big plan with this collective, and they were going to get all the players they want. They were going to win championships, yada yada yada. Basically, when Mel Tucker got fired, Alan Haller never endorsed this collective and kind of like talked shit to him. Basically, it was like, I don't believe in this. I don't think this is right, type of thing. And so that collective, before the Iowa game that we lost, that Noah Kim started, Evan, they pulled all the funding for all players. That collective.
I remember that week. Yeah.
And before, like 2 hours before the game, like 40 players threatened to sit out, and they just weren't going to play.
I remember that article. They were talking about how it happened.
Yeah, it was just crazy. And then like bunch of kids transferred, and then I guess some collective stepped in to like pay it off. But Harlan Barnett got dealt a terrible hand.
I want to tell all from Harlan Barnett's season.
Basically, they had like 12 guys willing to play against Iowa at night that day.
No wonder they couldn't tackle Cooper DeJean.
No wonder why we went for him 4th down in our own end.
Yeah, didn't know if you'd have a team next week.
All right, I got a hot board for you guys. I got 3 names. Stuff. I got 3 names. One, maybe laugh out loud.
I don't trust the president to hire an AD. Out there, I said it. He does not have a track record of being in a power position for very long. He was at North Carolina for his entire tenure, and they've had the same AD since 2011.
I think Izzo's going to have a fat hand in this.
Do you think the donors came to him, or do you think the donors probably convinced the president we need to do this, as opposed to like the president kind of starting it himself?
President called the article I read from Graham Cox to the president made this decision on his own.
Oh, okay. But probably felt he talks to people. The
tensions got so bad that he decided this is enough. They were just going to not extend his contract. It was going to end in like a year.
26.
But they canned him early.
Okay, so 3 names, 2 probably unrealistic, and then 1 probably realistic. Maybe. First one. Solari put this in the headline. I spit out my drink as well. Nick Saban coming home to be AD of Michigan State.
As the athletic director?
Be sick.
I would. Oh, my God.
Chris Solari put that in a headline. It said, Nick Saban come home. And I was like, this is the free press?
I mean, I don't think that would ever
it got
happen.
you to click on it, so it's a good clickbait.
Yeah, wait, where is the headline?
That'd be sick.
If Nick Saban doesn't come back to game day, you know why, because he's the new athletic
director. Michigan State director candidates to watch. Why not Nick Saban? Like, Solari, gotta tip my cap. That was incredible. I was like, what?
I'd like to think our football team would be pretty sick if we got Nick Saban as our AD.
I wrote that as a 0% chance of happening, but I thought it was funny to say.
I'll put it at 0.5.
2, Mark D'Antonio needs a job. He's not doing anything.
He's the worst person to be a kiss-ass NIL guy.
I was saying, he'd be exactly Harlan Barnett 2.0.
It would not happen for him.
But most successful coach. So, Evan, you could talk yourself into Mark D'Antonio. Remember when he was interim head coach for that game? It was electric.
Michigan State hired George Perlis as their athletic director, and he was a joke. He's like one of our better football coaches.
Ron Mason, though.
Also terrible.
Last one, probably actually reasonable.
Mark Antonio, Alex.
Because of the disaster going on there. Bubba Cunningham, future MSU athletic director.
Already know.
How do you know?
Because I fired up the boards after this. Come on. It's already out. He's out. They had talks. He doesn't want to
Oh, really?
North Carolina's athletic director?
Yeah. The guy that was like on the board for the college basketball. March Madness that put his team in the tournament. Electric. You're telling me he doesn't want to get out of that Bill Belichick bullshit right now? He's the perfect out for him.
Correct. I don't think Izzo likes him. So I told you it's going to be some random name from like an NFL guy, or the only other like candidate I saw that was an AD was the Western Michigan's current AD. Just one national.
What do you mean by NFL
hockey
guy?
I'm not saying NFL specific. Like someone that has no AD experience whatsoever. Like in a
why would they want him for that role? That should be like your director of scouting for the football team.
It's going to be like a CEO.
Not saying Chris Spielman. It's going to be like some front office executive. I don't know.
That just knows how to move the money around, Grant, not really control like sports teams.
Like it's going to be about raising a shit ton of money, and then you're going to have GMs for each sport that are going to do the stuff that we think about. And then when you hire coaches, you just hire a search firm.
Director of basketball operations, director of football operations.
Yeah, it sucks he's the basketball coach and still wants to do it, but like Tom would be so good. He's so good at fundraising money. Like he's the perfect person for that role because everyone in East Lansing loves him. Director. Like he would be a great AD, I think.
Probably be our AD in 5 years if he wants to be.
Like if it's just raising money and getting people to give money, he's like the ideal person.
He can't be right now. We still need to win a championship. We need to win number 2. He can't be AD. No. Can't do both.
Player coach, AD coach.
Western Michigan AD was interesting, I guess. He was at Oregon State before, so Jonathan Smith already knows him.
What did he do with PJ Fleck? Was he okay with letting him walk? That's good with me then. No offense, Evan.
I don't know. He's like a young dude.
PJ Fleck, I just remembered that they bring turf from their home field and dump it on the opposing team's field to make themselves feel at home.
That dude is a winner, Grant.
He has a good morning routine. I remember watching those videos at Western. This guy's a grinder. All right, so Nick Saban, Mark Antonio
has been at Western since 2022.
Somebody's going to fire Jake Boss. That's all I need.
I can't believe, dude, that guy was there when I went to a catching camp there, and they weren't good then. I just don't know how that guy still works there.
Still there.
And get rid of that hill in center field. It's a joke.
It's in right field, Grant. It's awesome. We have to have it so the field doesn't flood when the river rises every time it sprinkles.
Oh, okay. That actually makes sense. That's fine then.
It's a wall barrier. It's a sand wall barrier so the field doesn't flood.
All right. That's fine then. It actually has a purpose.
Whoever it is, all I want them to care about is, like, football needs to be good again. They need to make that
and be kind of scummy. It's okay to be a little scummy.
Yes. Cheat a little. Come on.
Yeah. If there's an
everyone else does it.
If there's an assault in your tunnel, get to the mic and blame the other team immediately.
I'm not saying do that.
AD 101. Control the narrative.
That's what Ward did.
Control the narrative. Get your whole fan base behind that narrative, and you won't have any issues.
And then take the free press off to write articles about only you and how great you are, and then badmouth the other school in the state.
Yes. Nobody really likes
the green wall's coming.
You only really know about your AD unless things are going bad.
Grant, Mark Hollis was an unbelievable AD.
Really?
He made everything
sports-wise?
Michigan State athletics.
We made the Final Four in both sports with him leading the charge. He put us on aircraft carriers. He put us.
Okay.
He made everything Michigan relevant. State. But he was a great AD. He raised money like he's just like the classic.
He did Spartan Stadium, the good
salesman
part of Spartan
guy.
Stadium.
And he cared about just making sports awesome, and we were sick. That was like the glory years. Now we suck at football.
All right.
Nick,
Alex, we're going 6 here, man. I can't wait to
meet you. Giles, Nick Marsh, 10-2. Here we go.
No, not 10-2.
We can skip NBA, NHL stuff. I haven't watched any hockey. I'm going to watch Florida Toronto though. I like that series.
Game 7's on right now, and Winnipeg came back in the last period.
They're in OT right now. 7 minutes.
Oh, I'm watching.
Winnipeg tied it up in the fourth. Shot clock buzzer beater.
I'm gonna head over to the Toyota Center after this. I think.
Let me cheers to 11?
2-11.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Stealing Evan's thunder.
And happy Mother's Day.
Oh, nice. Good luck to Ludwig Oberg in the Truist Championship this week.
Good luck to Jordan Spieth, who shot 62 today.
I'll be live at Comerica on Saturday. Come say hi.
Wow.